a moment at all this week, maybe this morning, where he let it sink in that this was going to be his last first game, and he said that there was. It was when he talked to his family and his children, and they told him, "Dad, this is your last first game of your career." And he says for him, it was very emotional. He got a little choked up while we were talking about it, because for Bud, being a part of this program for over 3 decades, well, it's not just about him, it's about his family as well. It was a big decision for all of them for him to retire at the end of this season, and obviously a very big decision for this Virginia Tech program as well. The players are trying to keep it out of their heads, but they're definitely playing for Bud this season.
All right, thank you, Kelsey. Boston College won the toss. They elected to receive. Toe meets leather, and we are underway in the 2019 season for both of these teams out of the back of the end zone. There's Brian Johnson's kick, and BC will take over. First time we'll have an opportunity to see not only A.J. Brown, but not only A.J. Dillon, rather, but Anthony Brown, 3-year starter now.
Absolutely, and Anthony Brown impresses me when I watch him. He has the strong arm to make all the plays, but what he lacks is his consistency. He's been working on his fundamentals, his lead foot placement, directing the ball exactly where he wants to go. His completion percentage wasn't terrible last year, but what offensive coordinator Mike Bajakian wants him to do is hit his receivers in stride to gain those extra yards.
Kobe White in motion, the hand to A.J. Dillon. Powers over the right side, picks up about 4 yards before he's brought down by Dax Hollifield. Let's check out the Boston College offense here.
As we look down this list, we got 2 wide receivers, Kobe White, Ben Glines. Ben Glines is kind of like the ultimate warrior. He'll do a little bit of everything. And down the list, we got some young guys. But look for these tight ends to make big plays in this game. They love their 4 starting tight ends.
Brown tried to hook up with White down the right side, could not. Defended nicely that time by Caleb Farley.
Right now, he gets a release off the ball, but Farley's able to get in his hip pocket. He doesn't panic, doesn't turn back to the ball. He's able to get his hand and knock it out.
3rd and 5. Long 5. We're going to get a flag. This is going to be a 3rd and 10.
And penalties.
Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Riley Johnson, our referee today, making the call.
And as you heard, penalties, they will kill drives. Right now they're back in a hole. 3rd and long is not where BC wants to be.
Long 10 for the Eagles here on 3rd down. Their first drive of the game. Brown back to pass. Has plenty of time. Flushed out of the pocket now. Head downfield. Tries to hook up with his tight end. Jake Bird cannot. And BC will be forced to punt.
Well, Bud Foster decided on the first 3rd down of the game to not bring pressure. He wanted to drop his guys back in coverage and give Anthony Brown decisions to make. Right now, as Anthony Brown drops back, he sees linebackers with eyes on him. They have everybody locked down, and right there on the sideline, you have 3 receivers bunched together for BC. That has to change on 3rd down.
Carlson puts his right toe into it. Good punt. Liner picked up by Hezekiah Grimsley. 35. Breaks a few tackles, still on his feet. Can't get him around the 35, though. And that's where Virginia Tech will take over. Got a flag on the play. We may get a running into the kicker. Let's see what variety this is.
Running into the kicker, number 8. Penalty is declined. 1st down.
Patterson, the guilty party on the penalty, was declined. And Virginia Tech will take over from their own 35.
Ryan Willis is the quarterback for this Virginia Tech Hokies offense, and he has been streaky over the past. He will take risks down the field, but he is excited about the playmakers that he has on the outside.
Scared money don't make money. He said that last year after chucking a 45-yard pass downfield against Virginia into coverage and completing the pass. And that's the type of quarterback he is, isn't he? He's a gunslinger. He's not afraid to take chances.
He is a gunslinger. I don't know if I'm going to have him manage my money anytime soon because I don't like that. I'm a little more risk-adverse in my portfolio.
Good for you. Smart. Wise. First opportunity now to see Ryan Willis. Fires it out. dropped. Tight end Dalton Keene was defended on the play by Joe Sparacchio, who's forced into action in terms of starting today because of the injury to Isaiah McDuffie not starting, and we don't expect to see him today for Boston College. Take a look at the Hokies offense here. We mentioned Ryan Willis. They don't have a bell cow back. Deshaun McLeese will get the start. They'll use several backs, but they do have a very good wide receiver core.
They do have a great receiving core, and they average 6'2" in height. They're big, they're fast, and their tight ends are going to make a difference. Dalton Keene right there on that drop, but he's usually their reliable receiver.
And they're massive on the offensive line, too. Deshaun King, the freshman, a very exciting freshman for Virginia Tech, gets the carry, but he didn't go very far.
And as we're looking at Keyshawn King get the football, he's a player that when we talked to Coach Fuente last night, he said, watch out for number 35. He has a little bit extra juice to him, something that can really provide an extra spark for this Virginia Tech running game.
Both these teams now getting behind the chains. We saw it with Boston College in their first offensive drive. Now Virginia Tech, 3rd and 10. Willis from the gun. Has time, tries to come this side to Turner. Covered very nicely on the play, and it falls incomplete.
Brandon Sebastian on the coverage there. He's the only returning starter from last year on this BC defensive backfield. And right here, he has good, soft eyes. He's able to get in the hip pocket of Trey Turner and force the ball outside. That's a pass that Ryan Willis has to throw. And really, that was great defense by Brandon Sebastian.
Oscar Bradburn to punt. Low line drive punt. Picked up at the 20-yard line by Levy. Makes a man miss. Gets outside. Dropped at about the 33-yard line, and that's where Boston College will take over. 2 strong defensive stands to open this one. Scoreless early on. Scoreless early in Chestnut Hill. Steve Addazio entering his 7th season as the head coach here at Boston College. 6 of those 7 seasons, or I should say 5 of the 6 previous, 7 wins.
That 7 wins seems like it's been the plateau for Boston College. It's a fantastic mark because you're reaching a bowl game, but it's not enough for Steve Addazio anymore. And right now, wow, Zay Flowers, the true freshman, we need to see that one again.
Caleb Farley knocking him out of bounds, but this is the exciting freshman out of Florida that this Boston College team is so excited about.
And they talked about him giving a spark. Every time we talked to a player, it was, wow, watch Zay.
Quickly going Boston College. They will go tempo. Dillon smashes into the middle, picks up about 1.5 yards.
And one of the ways that Steve Addazio said they were going to break that 7-win mark was to vary up the play calling. Get it outside and then smash up the middle, and that's what you've seen on this second drive.
Fake to Dillon. Rolling out. There's a tight end. Wide open. And it was Korab Adreesi on the catch.
And Adreesi's a guy who looks like he's just going to smack you right in the mouth. And don't worry, he will. But he has soft hands. Coach Mike Bajakian said he has some of the softest hands in the team.
Virginia Tech trying to substitute as fast as they can, but Dillon now crashes through the line, spins through, picks up maybe 3 more. Dax Hollifield is there for the stop for the Hokies, but Boston College is moving a little bit. And not wasting any time getting lined up to call another play. Brown goes up top, has his man open. Flowers for the score.
That's that speed they were talking about all week, all month, all preseason about their freshman, Zay Flowers. He is pumped up right now, and he should be, man. He is exciting, explosive, and right away, they didn't waste any time getting him the ball deep.
Beat Javon Quillen for the score. Boston College's first touchdown of the year. Aaron Bomeri, the transfer from Temple for the PAT, splits the uprights.
And Flowers is excited, and his teammates are excited about it as well. As Zay Flowers goes up, makes a terrific catch in the end zone for the first BC touchdown of the 2019 football season.
Boston College breaks out on top early. 5 plays, 67 yards, highlighted by the 33-yard touchdown catch by Zay Flowers, this freshman out of Fort Lauderdale. They're expecting big things from him.
Protection's good up front. Anthony Brown's able to throw the ball. Perfect shot over the right shoulder on the outside where only his receiver could catch it. And not only did his receiver catch it, the freshman beat the defender down the field with pure speed. Made an unbelievable play. And this is something that gets BC fans excited.
Danny Longman kicking off for Boston College. Sean McLeese from his own 2. Cuts it across the field, won't quite get to the 20 though. Good coverage on that BC special teams. Time now for Food Lions Food for Thought. A couple of freshmen we expect to see a whole lot of today. We saw Keyshawn King a little bit on Virginia Tech's last drive. We saw a lot of Zay Flowers there on Boston College's touchdown drive.
Absolutely, and they've already tried to get Keyshawn King the ball early on a jet sweep to get him out on the perimeter and use his speed. The two are described as very similar players. It'll be interesting to see if King can match what Zay just did in that last drive. These two are electric, and we are going to be watching them in the ACC for a long time.
Turner now trying to do his thing for the Hokies. Picks up about 7 yards on first down. So a good carry by number 11. They call him Sticks.
And it seems interesting that they haven't been handing the ball to their pure running backs very much at all. They're getting the balls to their receivers on sweeps through the backfield. And Trey Turner is a guy, he is ready for anything. We talked to him a little bit yesterday, and he said, just get the ball in my hands however you can.
Second down and 4 for the Hokies. Post a little mix up on the handoff. He's able to grab it though and squirt forward for a couple. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
And that could have been disastrous. We don't want to have fumbles, especially in our territory, and Virginia Tech almost caught that ball up.
Third and a yard for the Hokies. Looking for their first down of the day. Olston again. He may not have picked it up. He's close. Maximilian Richardson on the stop. Let's take a look at where they spot it. Now they'll measure. Good look at Justin Fuente there, entering his 4th season in Blacksburg. First 2 seasons were outstanding. Last year, not what the folks there in western part of the state of Virginia would expect. He'd be the first to tell you that.
And he started off his career with a bang. He was ACC Coach of the Year in 2016, leading the Hokies to a 10-win season. Again, he followed that up in 2017 with another good year, but last year was down. They did make a bowl game, continue their 24-year streak of bowl appearances, but it wasn't up to Virginia Tech standards.
4th and about 3 inches. And not much of a decision to be made here this early on in the going. Coach Fuente opting to send his punter in, and Oscar Bradburn will put his leg to it. Travis Levy deep for Boston College, standing on his own 29-yard line. Bradburn gets it off under heavy pressure. Levy decides to return it. From his 33, makes the first couple of men miss, and then gets dropped at the 30. Coming up at 7:30 Eastern, week 1 of the college football season rolls on tonight. Virginia squaring off against Pitt. How about these great early season ACC matchups? This is another good one. ACC Network primetime matchup presented by Geico. Also available on the ESPN app. It's Virginia and Pitt tonight. A.J. Dillon now in the game, but split wide, so an empty backfield for Brown and BC. Completes it out to Kobe White. That little tunnel screening maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, Boston College is staying in the no huddle. They have 2 tight ends on the field, but as you just saw, they're able to get an empty sets and now back in their bunch sets that they love.
Dillon tries the right side. They've got him squared up. He'll maybe lose a couple of feet. Kendricks involved on the tackle. Divine Diablo was in there as well from the safety spot.
BC has talked all offseason about how they need to be better on 3rd down. That plagued them last year, and one of the directions that Steve Adazio pointed to as how they can get past the 7-win mark is to be better on third down. Let's see how they do here.
Well, 3rd and 10 is not exactly how you want to draw it up. Brown has plenty of time, though. Plenty of time. Now flushed out of the pocket. Can't find any open receivers, but goes deep for White, and he has him inside the 20. White was battling with the defender all the way, but got just enough separation from Caleb Farley to bring it in.
And Kobe White did his pure scramble, Joe. As he saw his quarterback roll out of the pocket, one guy has got to go deep. He went deep, and he was the recipient of a dime by Anthony Brown.
And they want to go fast. Boston College, even after a long play, they want to get up to the line of scrimmage and get it going. Dillon picking up a couple before Hollyfield was there for the stop. Flag on the far sideline. Let's see what this is all about.
Illegal motion, offense number 9. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And that's what happens sometimes when you go too quickly.
Yeah, when you're trying to go hurry up, especially after a 40-yard play.
And the man who made the play was trying to get back lined up, Kobe White.
So right here, the pocket is really good, but Virginia Tech dropped back so many players that it forced Anthony Brown to roll out to his right. One of the things that he's been working on is when he rolls out of the pocket, can he get...
Offense number 64, 5-yard penalty, first down.
They're moving in reverse now, Boston College. Another penalty will move it back. It'll bring up a first down at 20.
And he wants to get his lead foot down so he can make that throw. And I'll tell you what, that was impressive. That's good to see from Anthony Brown.
Dillon makes a stutter step, picks up about 4 more of those yards back. Reggie Floyd, big hitter from that rover spot, that famous Bud Foster rover spot, coming up to make the hit. Dillon stays in the game, he splits wide left. See him down here at the bottom of your screen, 250-pound wideout. Brown now to the right side, cannot connect with one of his tight ends. That's Chris Garrison. Reggie Floyd again on the coverage.
And Reggie Floyd was all over that tight end. He wants to have that matchup versus these tight ends. He's been hearing about how well these tight ends play, how well they're able to run routes and get open. Reggie Floyd said, not against me. He said, come at me, challenge me, and I'll cover you all day long.
Number 1, a special number voted on by his teammates. And that for the rest of the year. The screen here to Lyons. He can't do much with it. That Virginia Tech defense is running all over.
Rayshard Ashby was the first one there, and he sniffed that out. He saw that screen, and he said, I'm coming to get it and not let someone to get to me.
Now this is interesting. Boston College here will attempt a field goal. This will be about a 39-yard attempt. And this has been a problem for them over the last couple of years.
It absolutely has. They haven't been able to have any range from their kickers.
But Aaron Bomeri, who's a transfer now from Temple, who's only been in school for a few weeks, is going to try to make it work. Certainly has the distance, but it's wide right. So the troubles in the kicking game continue for Boston College. Justin Fuente puts his arms up in exultation.
And that was
Coach Adazio dismayed.
That's what we saw a lot last year. Is there was distance, but the accuracy wasn't there. And Coach Adazio said he didn't really know this kicker very well. Transferred in. He's had a little nagging injury during camp, so he hadn't seen him kick that much. But he still has confidence to be able to take that kick, especially when he doesn't want to leave points on the board.
So the lead remains 7 for the Eagles. Ryan Willis of Virginia Tech now taking back over. Willis has his receiver open, connects. Sebastian takes down Trey Turner, but not before he gets to the sticks. That's going to be a first down. May have spoke too soon. I'll wait for the officials. It is a first down. How about Turner? Young man, just a sophomore this year. And last year as a freshman had playing time, big play Turner, but he's a young man that really took on a leadership role for being such a youngster on this team.
And he said he was almost forced into that leadership role due to the fact that he just did not agree with the things that were happening in his locker room. He saw players that weren't really giving their effort. They weren't wanting to win. Going so far as telling him, don't catch touchdown passes because we don't want to keep playing into the bowl season. And Trey Turner said, hey, I'm not standing for this. I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to step up and I'm going to say something. And it's impressive for a young guy to be able to do that.
Keyshawn King with the carry, picked up a couple. Kelsey Riggs won the field. What you got, Kels?
spoke with him, he talked a lot about his relationship, not just with Ryan Willis, but with all the players and how important it was for this locker room to be close this season. It's something that you could tell they put an emphasis on this offseason.
Willis fakes the King. It's Keene on the little screen, but a great job by Boston College and Brandon Sebastian coming up from that cornerback spot to make the stop.
The first guy there was Joseph Sparacchio, and he's filling in for the injured Isaiah McDuffie. He read that screen, and he went and he took his shot. I've played for defensive coordinators who talk about arrows through snow. When you go and make that first man on the sideline, you want to be that tackler. You put your arrow through snow. Do not stop your feet. That way you won't get juked and make the guy change direction.
3rd and 8 for the Hokies. Boston College showing pressure on the outside. They'll come with it a little bit, flushing out Willis. Will he get to the sticks running for it? I think he will. And he does. It's a first down for Virginia Tech.
And right here you see number 47, freshman Shida Sila. He is actually spying Ryan Willis. But Ryan Willis's athleticism allows him to get outside and actually beat Shida to the sideline. Shida wanted to show the speed he had, but he wasn't able to stop Ryan Willis for getting the first down.
Picks up about 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. Clock winding down, getting close to 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Again, a beautiful day here at Chestnut Hill. Boston College striking first today. Willis and company trying to mount a drive, looking over to get some calls from the sideline. Willis goes for it all. He's got a man wide open. That's going to be a touchdown for Virginia Tech. Hezekiah Grimsley was wide open but behind the defense.
Ryan Willis right here shows his poise in the pocket. He's able to step into the throw, and Hezekiah Grimsley gets behind this young, inexperienced BC secondary.
Tate Haynes was giving chase. Michael Haynes' son. Mike Haynes, who played for the Raiders and the Patriots in the NFL. Wasn't able to stay with Grimsley, though.
When we talked to Trey Turner, he said any of our wide receivers can go deep. They can take the top off of this coverage. They took the top off of this coverage on this touchdown, and boy, oh boy, Hezekiah Grimsley in for 6.
There's Hezekiah Grimsley, junior out of Williamsburg, Virginia. 55-yard touchdown catch to even things up in our game here between Virginia Tech and Boston College. Both teams have had success now going up top. Let's see what BC can do on this drive. Brian Johnson kicks it off, leading from his own 3. And gets hammered at the 16-yard line. Beautiful stop by Brian Murray. How on earth did Grimsley get this wide open on this play?
Well, back to this play, they're running a scissors route where the inside receiver is going to take it up and break it outside. The outside guy will do just the opposite, break it in, putting stress on this safety here. And as you watch this play develop, the eyes of that near safety, Mike Palmer, gets caught on the inside receiver and never sees Hezekiah Grimsley get behind him for the score.
So look at Ryan Willis, player down for Virginia Tech. Tyree Rogers getting up under his own power. He's wearing the 25, by the way. That's a very special number. They honor Frank Beamer by giving it to a big-time contributor on special teams every week. So you'll have a different player wearing number 25 every week. In this particular case, it's Tyree Rogers. He made a big hit on that play to drop Levy at his own 17, which is where Boston College will take over. Brown changing the play, moving Dillon over to his right shoulder. The fake to Dillon. Brown now up top, has a receiver open. It's Flowers again. It's inside the 50. Makes a move to stay on his feet. And finally dragged down to the 26.
This guy, Zay Flowers, you got to watch out for him. It's almost like you got to know where number 4 is on the field every single time you line up on defense.
And Boston College, again, does not want to waste any time. They hurry downfield. They want to move. Dillon in the backfield will take the handoff. Guess maybe 2 or 3. They're really keying on A.J. Dillon, and it's allowing players like Flowers on the outside to get open, isn't it?
Well, it is, and what I'm so impressed about is his composure in this big game. This is his first game ACC play, major college football, and he has not had any jitters so far.
Flowers in motion on this play. They'll hand it to Dillon. Tries to get through that line. A couple of arm tackles. Picks up a couple to bring up 3rd down and 4. Kelsey, what do you got on Flowers?
Well, Mark just touched on it a little bit. One of the biggest question marks they had about Zay Flowers going into this game was how would he perform under the bright lights. They knew that he was special. They used words like fast, good ball skills, and electric speed. Guys, we're definitely seeing a little bit of that from him already in this first half.
No question about that. In this first quarter, we've seen it all. We're seeing a lot of A.J. Dillon, too, just trying to power his way into that line. It's exactly what it is, but it's coming in bits and pieces right now.
Well, and what's happening with this Boston College offense is they have found something besides A.J. Dillon. And I think all week Virginia Tech has said, we need to stop number 2, beat us some other way. And they have so far.
Yeah, it's 4th down. It looks like Boston College is going to go for it, much to the delight of the fans here at Alumni Stadium. They'll give it to Dillon, tripped up. And he's going to be close. He had to gain the 15-yard line. That's right where the officials are coming in to spot it. Reggie Floyd again coming in from that rover spot to lower the boom on Dillon. Hokies seem to think they've stopped him. And they have. They've given the ball over to Virginia Tech, so a big defensive stand in stopping this big back right here.
And Steve Adazio told us he's going to look at his sheet, his percentage sheet, on whether to go for it on 4th down or not. Told him to go for it, and I think his sheet might be right. A.J. Dillon, 250 pounds. You think he might be able to get a yard. But Reggie Floyd knifed in and took away A.J. Dillon's legs. If you don't have any legs, you can't move the ball.
So with 3 minutes left to go here in this first quarter, Ryan Willis and this Virginia Tech offense back on the field. After scoring in their last opportunity, we're going to get a false start against the Hokies, so they'll move back.
False start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Silas Jancy, the guilty party. One of the members of this huge, massive offense. Look at Jancy there on the right, and T.J. Jackson, who's 6'6", 359 pounds, and he might be the best basketball player on this team, they tell us.
Gosh, could you imagine trying to guard a guy who's 6'6",
right there,
360 pounds? Goodness gracious.
Great musician, too. Just a massive offensive line for Virginia Tech this year. 1st and 15 for the Hokies. The police now coming out of the backfield. Pass deflected to the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete. Nice play that time by Tanner Crawford, one of the captains of this team, to knock it down.
This is that young, inexperienced defensive line. You see the twist game that they're happening up front with Carafa and number 97, Valdez, coming on the inside. He was able to get his hands up in the throwing lane, knock that ball down.
2nd down and 15. That's McLeese. Gets to the outside, but can't quite get the edge. Give them about 5 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and long from deep in their own territory.
Just touching back in on that 4th down call by Steve Adazio to go for it. Boston College went for it on 4th down 30 times last year because they could not kick field goals. It's interesting to see if his confidence is waning at all and his field goal kicker is going for it now.
Jalen Holston in the backfield alongside Willis. Willis looking to his right. He's going to chuck this one over the bench.
When we talked to Bill Sheridan, he said that early on in this game, he was going to have his defense drop back in coverage on 3rd down and not necessarily come after with pressure. He did that there and dropped him back, and he forced Ryan Willis to be patient in the pocket, something that Ryan Willis has had trouble on in the past. Sometimes forces errant throws. That time he just threw it away.
Bradford in the punt. This is a good one. It's going to come back to his opts to return it, though. It's by the first man. It's by the second and third. Bouncing off a tackle is finally dropped at about the 41 by Luke Bussell, but a good return by Levy. 7-7 here, all knotted up late first quarter. All knotted up at 7 apiece here. Virginia Tech and Boston College. Key ACC game here early on in the season. Both quarterbacks have had some success, particularly Anthony Brown so far in this game. You know, A.J. Dillon was getting a little bit of a breather in this series, at least at the start of this series. Hasn't had a whole lot of room to run, so it's been Brown's offense.
And it has been his offense.
Fumble.
He's been able to...
Fumble still loose.
Oh.
And it looks like Boston College may have finally fallen back on it, but Glines was in motion, had a little bit of a mix-up there with Brown, and the Eagles are lucky to get it back.
Well, I think you might have heard me talk, because I'm about to say he hasn't made any mistakes so far. But right now, he wasn't able to get the ball cleanly. Got jostled by Ben Glines coming back. Thank goodness their offensive line, heads up, alert play, get on the ball.
David Bailey is now in at that tailback spot, another really big back. Brown fakes into him, eludes the rush. Now he's got all kinds of time, but can't find an open receiver. Eventually he does, finds Ben Glines. Picks up a big chunk of the yards they lost, but it's going to bring up 3rd and long. We do have a flag on the field.
Flag's way downfield, too. Could be defensive holding.
Illegal touching by the offense. The receiver went out of bounds and came back in and was first to touch the pass. That's a loss of down at the previous spot. 3rd down.
So now it's 3rd down and even further. Lines went out of bounds and then came back in. You see him here, top right. Yep.
And that's a good play by the defender. He knows that if he pushes his receiver out of bounds, he can't catch the ball. That foot went out of bounds, and he's no longer an eligible receiver.
3rd and forever. Brown tries to get it underneath. That's Bailey. Has some room. He gets inside of Virginia Tech territory and picks up the 1st down.
Well, David Bailey is known to be a bruising back. He's been their short yardage back, but he got out in space and was able to follow his blockers and get that 1st down. That's a huge pickup for Boston College.
Tasio feels like Bailey would start on most teams in the ACC. He's obviously not going to start a tailback on this team right now. Bailey working his way, though, muscling for a couple. Diablo is there on the stop along with Reggie Floyd.
And you talk about how you can keep number 2 A.J. Dillon healthy throughout the season. This drive right now, he has not seen the field. And I got to say, they're probably pretty impressed with David Bailey at running back as a second option.
Lowers his shoulder, picks up a couple. We'll bring up 3rd and 6 as we get to the final half minute of this first quarter. Alan Tisdale there for the stop for the Hokies.
And the Virginia Tech Hokies have done a good job of stopping the run so far. There haven't been any big plays, any gashing plays. But Boston College is trying to figure out how to get the ball in their playmakers' hands other ways.
Brown from the gun. Has time. Had a receiver that shot it wide. Waller on the coverage that time. Jermaine Waller for Virginia Tech. There's still 5 seconds left to go here in this first quarter. 3rd down and 6. I apologize, 4th down.
Third down has been plaguing Boston College, and I don't know whether they thought they might catch the defense off guard by going for it, trying to squeeze that play in before the end of the quarter. But it seemed a little bit rushed, and that's what happens when you get incomplete passes and you're not all on the same page.
As Zekiah Grimsley makes the fair catch at his own 12, that's where Ryan Willis and company will take over when we come back to the first quarter of play in the 2019 season here for BC and Virginia Tech, all tied at 7 apiece. BC 7, Virginia Tech 7 as we head to the second quarter here at Alumni Stadium, Chestnut Hill. Both teams have used big plays in the passing game. That's really the only offense they've been able to muster up, even with A.J. Dillon at that tailback spot for BC. The running games just have not been on target. Hokies again starting from deep inside their own territory. Willis out of the gun. Tries to connect and does to Turner. Haynes is there on the stop, but Turner's able to make a big gain out of it and pick up a 1st down.
Trey Turner starts this route out by giving a little double move at the top of his break, gets inside the cover 2 defender. Once you get inside there, there's no one until the hash, and Ryan Willis was able to find him on that quick slant.
Holston split wide, empty backfield for Willis. Tries to hit a receiver over the top. That's a beautiful play. Tate Haynes coming over on coverage. But the ruling is that's going to be a catch by Caleb Smith.
And look at this catch. Look at this concentration. As he's going to the ground, it looks like he gets the hand underneath.
Yeah, the ball's moving around, but I think he keeps possession of it.
I don't think it moves enough to be out of his possession.
Outstanding catch by Caleb Smith. Getting Virginia Tech out of trouble. Here's Turner again. In open space. Tripped up, but not after a gain of about 9 yards. Check out Willis here getting drilled on that last pass play. Knew it was coming too.
And they love his toughness. But oh boy, John Lamont just put his shoulder right down the chest blade of Ryan Willis. He got back up, threw the ball next play.
Holston is able to pick up the first down through the middle. Kev Bennerman on the stop, but not before we move the chains once again.
And now Virginia Tech's going hurry up. They're going no huddle. And they, just like Boston College, have played with 2 tight ends most of this drive.
Freshman Keyshawn King now in the backfield. He'll take the handoff. Finds room to run too. Well, it's a Virginia Tech team that had 3 first downs in the whole first quarter. They have 3 on this drive, and they're moving the football on the ground.
Well, they are. I think they were feeling out a little bit of what to expect from this Boston College defense and how they could get Keyshawn King the ball in his hands. That last run, you saw that burst up the middle by Keyshawn King. He's electric.
Least now in the backfield with Willis. That's King, rather. Nice to go underneath to his tight end, Keene. And a nice play by John Lamont to knock it away.
And John Lamont's playing this Mike linebacker position, filling in for Connor Strahan, who left the team last year and now is playing in the NFL, hoping to make a team. But John Lamont has played previously. He's a junior, he's a leader. He suffered a little bit of a stinger in training camp, but he is on fire in coverage tonight.
Big third down for the Hokies. 3rd down and 3.
Lamont showing pressure up that right edge.
Willis over the middle, hits his receiver, that's a first down.
Talking to Dalton Keene, the star tight end for this team, he told me that he thought James Mitchell, number 82, who just made that catch, is the real deal. He lined up at that X position on the boundary side of the formation and beat a very good corner on the inside route.
Holston is man at the line of scrimmage, tries to spin away from it. He cannot. And Marcus Valdez and company were there to stop him for a loss.
Valdez was all over that play. Let's see how he got there. He just burnt right off the edge of the offensive lineman moving upfield. No one accounted for him. He was actually the read player on that, so that's on Ryan Willis. He needs to see the defensive end crashing down, pull that, and get out in front of his lead blocker.
Mitchell approaching this time. Willis looking his way. Over the top. Hits his receiver for a score. That's Tavian Robinson, the freshman, giving Virginia Tech the lead.
All right, let's look at this route by 82 on the left-hand side of your screen. He did a double move, which brought in number 34, the linebacker, and put a one-on-one with Mike Palmer, the newly starting safety. He didn't have any of it. Tavion Robinson, the true freshman, got a touchdown.
Being congratulated by his teammates on the sideline. They'll review this score as they do with all scoring plays to see if Robinson did get the ball across the goal line before his knee was down. Let's see what we can see.
Watching it live, it looked like he got in all right. As he extends, to me, the ball crosses first, and then the knee hits down. You see the referee on the far pylon sees it right there. To me, this play stands. What do you think, Chris?
I agree with you. I think Ryan Willis probably agrees with you.
What do you think about Tavion Robinson? You think he agrees?
I mean, I think Tavion Robinson is in this receiving corps with Grimsley, with Turner, with
After
Hazelton.
review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
With Caleb Smith that we saw make an outstanding catch. This is a very good receiving corps they've got at Virginia Tech.
It really is. And it has more players in the pipeline. Tavion Robinson was part of a recruiting class, and the wide receivers in that class, they called them the Fab Four. Jaden Peyote, Jacob Pinckney, Elijah Bowick, and Tavion Robinson are 4 outstanding receivers. Tavion Robinson is the first one of the 4 to get that touchdown pass.
Ryan Johnson with the PAT. It's good. And the Hokies, who trailed early here at Chestnut Hill and put 2 touchdown drives together, they lead. Freshman Tavion Robinson making the touchdown grab, giving Virginia Tech the 14-7 lead here early in the second quarter. Ryan Johnson will kick off for the Hokies, and we'll get another opportunity to see Boston College and A.J. Dillon, what he can do, although it hasn't been much so far today. That Bud Foster defense has done a really good job of bottling him up. Levy waits for it at his own 6. Near side. Dropped at the 25, and that's where we will see Boston College take over. It hasn't been Dillon, it's been the freshman from Fort Lauderdale. That young man right there is Zay Flowers.
And he has been electrifying. You watch him on these plays. He is a guy who's explosive. He adds a vertical threat to this Boston College passing game that they have lacked in recent years. Anthony Brown has got to love the fact that he can sling the ball downfield to a guy who doesn't have a defender within 10 yards of him. Zay Flowers has been working early in his routes to get open late in the play to make these throws much easier for Anthony Brown downfield. This guy is a playmaker.
At 16 yards on a run for him earlier in the day, too. He has over 100 yards of all-purpose yards in the game. That's Divine Diablo shaking up on that kickoff, and that's, here's a starting safety for Virginia Tech, and they all play on special teams and they all take pride on it, but that's sort of the danger of it sometimes is you get a guy hurt covering a kick we really need on the defensive side. Now he's not in the game. Fake to Dillon. Brown's in trouble, gets rid of it. Before taking the sacks, Dax Hollyfield was right there on him.
And Dax Hollyfield is over here on the left side of your screen. And as this play starts, you see him come off the edge. His defensive end eats up the tight end coming back, just wasn't able to wrap up Anthony Brown.
Bouncing off, and you see Dillon's strength on that play. Hit hard at the line of scrimmage, was still able to bounce off and pick up about 3 yards. So he's making something out of nothing on these carries, but he's carried the ball 10 times for just 26 yards.
Yeah, and that's not A.J. Dillon-esque, and I think that this Virginia Tech defense, they thought they might be better with 8 returning starters, and they have looked very sound stopping the run so far in this game. We'll see if A.J. Dillon can find a crease in this offensive line, can open up a hole for him down the field.
3rd and 7 now for BC. Wide open is one of those tight ends. This time it's Hunter Long, the sophomore. He makes the catch and picks up the first down before Jamari Connor is there to drop him.
Hunter Long is one of these tight ends that they love to get to the ball to. He's the fastest of the group.
These guys all look alike. Same size, 81, 85, 84. Big to Dillon. Brown has time. He's had time all day long. There's Long again. Picking up another first down.
And Khalil Ladler was on that coverage, and the only reason he's in the game is because Divine Diablo is out. Khalil Ladler was a starter last year, got beat out by Jamari Connor for that whip position, but now he's put in stress position covering this big, fast tight end.
Dillon gets lost in the pile. Tries to come out of it, can't, picks up maybe 4 yards.
And that's why covering these tight ends is so difficult for an undersized safety. We have Hunter Long standing at 6'5", 255. If he can get his body in front of his defender, it gives so much area for A.J. Brown to throw the ball.
Bailey giving Dillon a little bit of a break. We got movement on the offensive line.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
John Phillips, the graduate student out of Phoenix, New York, guilty of the infraction. See, Adazio can't be happy with that because he wants to go fast. Every time you get a penalty, it slows everything down, takes them out of the game they want to play.
And it throws off your play calling. No longer is it a second and medium. It's now second and 2 sticks, meaning first down and more.
Bailey out of the backfield. Brown has time. It's long again. He's found a connection with this tight end. Reggie Floyd is there for the stop, but pick up a big chunk of that penalty yards back. It's second down and 1.
When we talk about this tight end group, we talk about kind of their Fab Four. And Hunter Long is the only guy who on that group who's not a senior. Seems to be a little bit quieter than the big personalities of Christian Garrison, Jake Burt, Crab Adrizi. But I guess what? He is showing his personality on the field right now.
Lines in motion. Bailey takes the handoff. Shoestring tackle that time, maybe saving a touchdown. Ladler was there, as was Eli Adams for Virginia Tech.
And BC got the first down. They needed to get that first down. Too often they've gotten in this area of the field and either had to go for it or miss a field goal. They got this on the ground.
Bailey stays in the game for BC. They hand it to him on the edge. Big number 72 out in front. Eric Lindstrom blocking for him, but he isn't able to pick up much.
And A.J. Dillon's checking back into the game. It's going to be second down. A.J. Dillon is deep in the backfield. Look for him to get one of these zone plays to try to get him to bounce to the edge on a run play.
Flowers in motion. No room there, but now he bounces back outside, keeps his feet, and he'll score.
They were trying to get A.J. Dillon the ball on a zone to bounce to the edge. A.J. Dillon had different plans. And his plan said, I'm going to go around the other way. You watch him here. He sees this defensive line pushing his offensive line back. He says, okay, I'm going to go the other direction. Beats Rashard Ashby into the end zone. And that right there, that's what makes this guy special. It's not always about the speed or the power, but his vision and knowledge that he can bounce back the other way, gain yards, and have a positive play.
Bulmeri splits the uprights, 14 all here in the second quarter. Dillon finally getting on track, finding the end zone for his first score of 2019.
The name The Sauce came from my freshman year, actually. Most freshmen or college students get a big thing of ramen or Gatorade or drinks or something like that. My mom got me a jar of applesauce, probably about this big. I just kind of drank it like it was juice. One of my next door roommates said, I'm gonna just start calling you The Sauce. And after a couple weeks went by, I got really accustomed to it and I just ran with
it. Sauce. Dillon drinks applesauce.
I gotta say, I love some good applesauce too. What's your favorite kind of applesauce?
Oh, well, Mott's, but yeah, I don't drink it out of like a liter bottle. That's amazing.
Would you try? I would try.
If it's like Popeye and spinach, and I get to be like A.J. Dillon, yeah, I would drink me some Mott's applesauce.
Exactly. Kelsey, what about you? How do you like your applesauce?
I like my applesauce plain, but I don't think you guys got to see it right there. A.J. Dillon actually mixes his applesauce not just plain, but has it with mac and cheese, puts it on turkey. To me, I'll take my applesauce plain. I don't want to mix it with anything like that. What about you guys?
No, I'm with you, though. Salty and sweet.
Yeah.
The combination works, you know?
Seems like Joey Tribbiani from Friends when he has that meat casserole. Meat, good. Jelly, good. Applesauce, good. Well, A.J. Dillon is the sauce, and you did some sauce right there to get in the end zone.
Let's see how Virginia Tech now and Ryan Willis can counter. The fake out here to the outside. Robinson, ball bouncing around. Falls incomplete. Brandon Sebastian came up to make the play. That's the young man who just caught the touchdown. And there was, I guess there was some question as to whether it was forward, but it was incomplete pass.
You'll see right here at the end of the play the hit by Brandon Sebastian low. But I got to tell you what, he beat his blocker, made a play. That's a perfectly legal hit.
2nd down and 10. Deshaun McCleese in the backfield for the Hokies. We're going to get movement here. Looks like on this wide out down low. Looks like Phil Patterson may have jumped.
False start. Offense number 8. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Mistake by Patterson. Just send the Hokies back 5 yards.
One of the things that both of these coaches talked about this week is being good at the things that don't take any effort. These pre-snap penalties that set you back in the chains, those don't take any effort. Just listen, be on time with your snap, and don't jump off sides.
2nd and 15. Little option play. McCleese has some room. Picks up about 7 before Nolan Borgerson is there to drop him.
Richard Yeargin, number 2, transferred defensive end, has the quarterback, gets the ball forced pitched, but number 34, linebacker Joseph Sparacchio, was not able to get off his block to get the pitch man, who's his responsibility.
3rd down and a long 7 now for Virginia Tech. Crowd starting to get into it here at Alumni Stadium, or in the end where the students are. Jalen Holston now out of the backfield, pressure to fumble, picked up by Boston College.
Marcus Valdez comes up with the ball, but it was Tate Haynes coming off the boundary corner that forced that fumble. Let's take a look at it again.
Illegal formation. 5 in the backfield. Penalties decline. Ruling on the play on the field is a fumble recovered by Boston College. 1st down.
And another look at this, you see a stunt game up front. Virginia Tech had gone into a max protect formation to chip both DNs, but what that did was allow Tate Haynes to sneak inside to force that ball out, and Marcus Valdez was on the spot to pick it up, and that is a huge play for Boston College.
And sets him up deep in Virginia Tech territory. They'll scrimmage 1st and 10 from the 17. Dillon takes the handoff. Just gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard before Rayshard Ashby is there, the rook, to bring him down. Rayshard Ashby carrying the lunch pail this week. There's a good look at him. Young man out of Chesterfield, Virginia.
That lunch pail is such a cool tradition that Bud Foster started back in 1995. Really is an honor that these guys feel being carried all week.
Has his receiver Levy, just couldn't hang on to it. Looked like there may have been a little confusion by the Boston College receivers, 2 of them in the same area before Levy was able to break out, but he may have been able to squeeze this one.
Chris, I think you're right. The outside receiver was a little bit too close to the hash, which allowed his defender to fall off and play that ball from outside in and knock it away.
3rd down. White in the end zone. Touchdown!
What a throw by Anthony Brown. This is not an easy throw. You're throwing a fade ball into the front corner of the end zone. He has to target that front pylon on that outside number of the receiver. What a perfect placement of that ball. Now let's see.
Of a touchdown is under further review.
If he got his foot down, it looks like he got that front foot down. The second foot was out of bounds, but let's see if he had possession when that front foot went down. Possession, I see front foot down.
You can't really see that from that angle, whether it hits white or green. Look at this angle.
Possession, down.
This foot right here, I see. Kicks up a little bit. Kicked up a little bit of those black pellets. Replay official Andrew Panucci is looking at this as we speak.
But look at the placement of this football on that outside number right at that front pylon, and allows his receiver to either catch the ball or nobody catch the ball. That's something that Anthony Brown has done a good job of, is not throwing too many interceptions over his career. But Kobe White's concentration, his ability to control the ball all the way to the ground and get that foot down. This is a big-time play by a big-time wide receiver.
And a really nice coverage by Jermaine Waller. You had to have a perfect pass and a great catch to make this play work.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't coach that any differently on defense. You say, be there. Hopefully the guy drops it. Hopefully the ball goes out of bounds. But that was a good play. Maybe at the last minute try to rip it out, but you got to give that one to the offense.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Love that shot of Anthony Brown on the phone calling up to Mike Bajakian saying, hey, Coach, how was that one? You like that pass? I'm sure he liked it a lot.
Kobe White, one of these three players, along with A.J. Dillon and Anthony Brown, all juniors, came in together. Staples of this Boston College offense. Mary with the point after try. It's good. Boston College in a seesaw affair. We got a good one here. 6:20 left to go in the first half. It's BC now that goes out on top. Kobe White with the great catch and score. College used the turnover. 2 touchdowns in 1:32 to retake the lead over Virginia Tech here with 6:20 left to go in the first half. Chestnut Hill. So a back and forth affair, and the offense has exploded a little bit here in the second quarter as Longman kicks off to Robinson, the freshman. He scored earlier in the game on a pass reception. Runs into his own man, but now gets outside. 25, uses his stiff arm, dropped at about the 29. Fumble. The official's going to say he's down, so Virginia Tech will retain possession. We talked about White and Dillon and Brown, that trifecta. With more on that crew from BC, let's send it down to Kelsey Riggs.
Well, those three guys are definitely the leaders here on this Boston College team, and I got to talk to them a little bit yesterday about what that means for them to be here 3 years together and now be really leading this team. They told me there was a moment their freshman year when they were playing against FSU that they were watching the game back and they saw their names come across the screen as the leading passer, the leading receiver, and the leading rusher. And they said that was a really special moment, one that stuck with them and one that they want to continue to build on that success as they try and be successful this year at Boston College.
All right, thanks, Kels. Freshman Keyshawn King on the reception there before Brandon Sebastian is able to bring him down. The ball did come loose. The ruling on the field was that King was down, and in the end, it's a pickup of 3 yards. King again. This time to fake. Willis has it. He's not afraid to run the football, even on a design run, but he can't quite get to the edge. And he's brought down after a pickup of maybe 4 yards. That's a good run for 4 yards.
It's a great run for 4 yards. It's also a great job by Joseph Sparaccio, their Sam linebacker, staying on the outside, and he's able to keep leverage on his receiver to force Ryan Willis to bump outside. Tate Haynes came in, but you saw some missed tackles. And that's what Steve Adazio had some concern about because there's so little tackling in preseason anymore. How will this guys fare tackling in the big stage?
3rd and 3 for the Hokies. Willis sprints right. Pump fakes. Tries to get it himself and cannot. Pushed out of bounds heavily. Virginia Tech fans wanted a flag. It doesn't look like they're going to get it. Kiev Bennerman eventually ran him out. Take a look at it.
Let's take another look at it. It's a very close call, but Kiev Bennerman, I think he sees Ryan Willis advancing. The toe was technically out of bounds. I think it's the right call. I'm also a defender. I got to say, that was the right call.
Side on the quarterback side unless it's egregious.
Very tough to do that.
Levy with the fair catch at his 21 makes it. That's where BC will take over. Don't miss the huddle, our signature football show hosted by Jack Collinsworth, assuming he's all right after Eric McLean pretty much sent him into the next door studio.
Took him out.
Took him out. McLean, EJ Manuel, Mark Richter on hand. They'll preview the weekend slate of games and keep you updated on all things ACC football. Next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern and Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on the ACC Network and on ESPN. Divine Diablo is back for Virginia Tech. That's good news. Number 17 was shaken up on a special teams tackle a couple of possessions ago, so Hokie fans will be happy to see him. Bud Foster will as well back into the game. Bailey bounces it outside. Runs through an arm tackle, picks up about 5. Javon Becton is there for the stop for Virginia Tech. It's an interesting 1-2 punch. Both Dillon and Bailey are big backs. Again, gets ahead of steam. Gets out close to the yard marker for the first down to gain. Ashby there to knock him out, but picking up some chunks. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
That's got to be tough for a defense, too. You gear up all week to tackle A.J. Dillon. Say he's so hard, so big, so tough. Well, then he sits out on the bench, and now you got to tackle another big, hard, tough guy.
6'1", 240 Bailey. This time Brown will just keep it himself behind that big offensive line. First down, easily gained. Officials blow the whistle to unpile. Brown's helmet came off in the scuffle. He's going to have to take a seat for a play. Dennis Grosell will come in.
Well, this will be interesting to see what they do. Everybody's got to expect they're just going to hand the ball off to David Bailey on this play. But you never know. Sometimes Steve Adalji likes to roll the dice. Will he now? I doubt it.
Well, he didn't roll the dice, and it ends up blowing up in his face because Mario Kendricks and a whole host of Virginia Tech tacklers were keying on Bailey. Brown will come back in.
It was interesting to see that play call. When Grosell came in, they ran that read option. I'm sure they told him, give the ball. But it'd be interesting to see if he does enter the game at all later in the stage, if he runs that read option play and uses his legs.
Play action. Brown up to Korab. Picks up about maybe 8 yards on the play before Reggie Floyd knocks him out. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
They were trying to go deep again on that play, and Anthony Brown was looking for his young Zay Flowers, who got held up a little at the line of scrimmage, wasn't able to get open. And that's what happens when you're a mature quarterback. You say, my number 1, my number 2 look is covered. I'm going to go to my check down in the flat.
That time Brown overshooting C.J. Lewis. Waller on the coverage. Now it'll bring up 4th down. So with 2.5 minutes left to go, Virginia Tech's going to get the ball back.
They are, and they've shown their big play ability. They got a couple first downs the last time, or 2 times ago that they had the ball. Last time they got nothing. So they want to try to put together a drive here. Hopefully for them, they get to go out right as the half is ending and not give Boston College another opportunity with the football.
BC's punt team now just taking the field. Play clock winding down 5 seconds. They do get the snap off. No, they do not. They're going to call a timeout.
There's no snap. Timeout was called by Boston College before the snap. First charge to this half.
Steve Atasio is not very happy about that, having to use a timeout there on special teams, but better safe than sorry. With 2.5 left to go in this first half. Boston College up 7. .231 left in the second quarter. State Farm halftime report coming up. What happened to Florida State today? They had a big lead early, and they let it get away from them. How did that one finish up? Action around the ACC plus a preview of Virginia and Pitt. That's coming up following us on the ACC Network. Hezekiah Grimsley back to receive this punt. Fumbles the football, muffs it. It's loose, and Boston College has fallen on it. That is a huge turn of events with 2.5 minutes left to go in this first half.
And this is what we talk about when we talk about Beamer ball. It's about special teams, and you heard the ref confirming that's Boston College ball. But you got to focus on the football. The number 1 job of the punt returner is to get the ball back to the offense. He tried to do a little bit too much on that play. Not in position, catches the ball away from his body, and Boston College is right there to recover. And now Boston College has 2 minutes and 23 seconds driving in to get another touchdown before this half.
2 timeouts, second turnover of the day for Virginia Tech, both deep in their own territory. Brown has wide open, makes the catch. No, can't make the catch. Initially had it, Reggie Floyd dislodged the ball from him. And that's why Reggie Floyd wears number 1. Boy, they needed that play.
Reggie Floyd shows his range on this play and his physicality as he comes across all the way to the corner of the end zone. He lays out, gives that extra effort, which gave him that number 1 jersey. He will put it all out on the line for his team. He did there on that play and saved a touchdown.
Brown keeps it. The fake to Dillon. He's got a lot of room in front of him. Inside the 10 for the score.
Anthony Brown has shown today already he can beat you through the air, and now he shows his running ability. He puts it on the ground. He takes it all the way himself and uses his speed. There was not a Virginia Tech defender in sight. He walked into the end zone.
2 Boston College touchdowns off of 2 Virginia Tech turnovers here in the second quarter. That's the difference. Mary splits the uprights on the point after try. They'll ring the bell here in celebration. It's a 14-point lead.
Let's take a look at how he got so wide open into the end zone. He buries the ball into the running back's chest. The linebackers suck up inside. And number 81, big tight end, is able to lead around and be the lead blocker. He can't even find anybody to block, and Anthony Brown just walks into the end zone.
Both Garrison and Burt, 2 tight ends, springing Brown. So he adds a rushing touchdown to his 2 passing touchdowns here in the first half. His numbers are phenomenal. He's 12 of 20, 258 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, no picks in that rushing touchdown.
And he's happy to be back on that phone again. Hey, Mike Bajakian, what do you think about me running the ball? Give it to me a little bit more. He's had a great day. He has that smile on his face, and he deserves it. But it's still early. We have 2 halves of football to play. 1 half is not enough.
There's still 2 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here in this first half. Bo Murray puts his right leg into it. Tavian Robinson is there to return it, but he lets it bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Coming up at 7:30 Eastern, week 1 of the college football season rolls on. Virginia and Pitt in our ACC Network primetime matchup presented by Geico. It's also available on the ESPN app. Bryce Perkins last year, this team plays with so much confidence under him, but he's got a target on him now. Everybody knows that he's going to be the bell cow, the leader of this offense. Loses a lot of pieces around him.
Yeah, and you got Bryce Hall leading that defense at the cornerback position, but Bryce Perkins, he's the guy who can really make a difference for University of Virginia, which is why they're ranked so high in ACC standings preseason. And I really like his ability to, yes, make plays on the ground, but his accuracy has improved as the season went on last year. And he's a tough guy. He's going to take a beating, and he's going to get up and keep on ticking.
Holston with a 3-yard gain on first down. This time Robinson picks up another 3 yards before Sebastian is there to drop him. 3rd down for Virginia Tech. Minute 38 left to go in this first half and counting. BC trying to substitute. The Hokies might have been able to catch him off guard. Willis now. Complete. Sebastian is there to drop the receiver, Caleb Smith. Let's see where they spot it. This is going to be close. They got to get it right to the line at the 35-yard line. If any part of that ball is touching that line, it's a first down. They've given him a first down. As you see with the catch there, Caleb Smith converting. So 1st and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Robinson again, quickly becoming one of Willis's favorite targets. Maximilian Richardson with the stop. But Virginia Tech now moving the ball, just over a minute left to go in this first half. Again to Robinson, shakes the first tackler, down at the 37.
BC is in their nickel package on defense here, and it seems like there's some miscommunication.
You think maybe a timeout would be in order for BC? There's plenty of time here for Virginia Tech, but they've got BC on their heels. Holston picks up close to another first down. They may have to measure this. It's right at the 27. Virginia Tech probably doesn't want him to. They've got an injury on the field. Virginia Tech player, looks like Jalen Holston, who carried the ball on that last carry,
this half.
Virginia Tech opts to call a timeout. Let's see what happens to Holston here.
John Lamont hits him high, and Mike Palmer comes in low, and looks like he got his foot caught in the ground.
That left ankle maybe.
Could be his ankle, could be his knee. Sometimes when you can put pressure on it initially, unfortunately it seems to be knees. So we'll hope that it's not, and that he can come back and return to this game. But he's walking off under no pressure of his own.
I certainly wish the best for Jalen Olson, the sophomore out of Stockbridge, Georgia. What do you like what you've seen from Coach Fuente and Virginia Tech on this drive?
Well, they've been moving the ball, and I think that they saw that they caught Boston College in their nickel package with some smaller guys and an extra defensive back, and they've been able to switch up, run, pass, and that's hurt them. And that's gashed Boston College up the middle, where they've been stout against the run thus far.
Willis out to McLeese here. Has a blocker in front of him. Dances by one defender, dropped by Tate Haynes after a pickup of 5.
Boston College went back to their base defense with 3 linebackers on the field there, played at cover 2, and Tate Haynes was in the flat. A little bit too much yards, in my opinion, for that flat defender to give up.
Virginia Tech. This is their second timeout of this half, 32nd timeout.
Virginia Tech calls their second timeout of the first half. 35 seconds left to go. "14-point lead for Boston College as we get to the end of the first half. We had a little bit of A.J. Dillon, had a touchdown run, but it's been more through the air, really, for both these teams.
It has, and we knew that Virginia Tech was going to air it out and get Ryan Willis the ball downfield to his big receivers. But I think the surprise around this entire game has been Zay Flowers. Not only his emergence, we knew he was going to be a little bit of a special athlete, but his ability to have big plays under pressure, that's been the difference for Boston College so far.
And what about Anthony Brown, too? His first half, are you kidding me? 258 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air and 1 on the ground. Here's Virginia Tech trying to get some of it back. The pressure by Yergin forcing Willis out of the pocket. He may have been able to pick up the first down, though, on his own. Brandon Barlow made the tackle downfield, but Willis with a nice job of escaping the pressure and picking up the first down. Clock winding, inside 25 seconds, spiking the ball, killing the clock. Trey Turner comes off the field limping a little bit as we ISO him. Maybe he's just switching sides. I think he got a little banged up here. Yeah, the hamstring maybe, but he's staying in the game.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that hamstring, once it tweaks, staying in the game can actually exacerbate the injury. So
Turner's a big play guy. He knows with 24 seconds left in this first half, his quarterback needs him. McLeese in the backfield with Willis. Stays in the block. Picked off! Joe Sparacchio for Boston College, the 3rd turnover of the first half. And that's a big one.
that is huge. Joe Sparacchio read the formation. He knew it was a 3-by-1 play, that they had been running all verticals, and watch him here on this play. As they run this route upfield, he stays outside, knowing he has post safety, and slices underneath, playing that ball perfectly. Ryan Willis tries to force the ball in there, trying to get a little bit of that risky investment down the field. And Joe Sparacchio, who's filling in for the injured Isaiah McDuffie, comes up with an absolutely huge play for Boston College, keeping Virginia Tech out of the end zone.
Anthony Brown takes a knee. And Boston College converted 2 Virginia Tech turnovers into touchdowns earlier in the half, and they prevent Virginia Tech from putting points on the board at the end of the half. 28-14 our score. Coach Fuente, there you see, imploring his team to improve upon that effort in the second half. Down 2 scores. They'll get the kickoff when we come back. Kelsey Riggs is now with the Boston College head coach.
Coach, you said the key to the success this season with your program was Anthony Brown. What have you seen from him in this first half?
Yeah, I think Anthony's playing well. He's playing hard. He's been a great leader on the sideline. I think all our guys are playing hard. You know, we've had a few more penalties than we'd like right now. We had a turnover that we were able to get back on top of inside the red zone with the penalties. But all in all, I think we played really right now. We've got to hang on to that.
Headed into this game, everybody knew who A.J. Dillon was. Zay Flowers has really shown out. What'd you like, what you saw from your freshman receiver?
Well, he's an explosive guy, and we knew he was. He came in and had a jet sweep that was explosive, and then a couple of big plays down the field at the throw game. I mean, he can get behind the coverage. He's a dynamic guy.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Adazio. Kelsey, our halftime score. Boston College 28, Virginia Tech 14. After the break, we're back with Jordan Cornette, my dude, back in the studio with the State Farm Halftime Report. Our halftime score here in Chestnut Hill. Boston College with the lead over Virginia Tech as we get ready for the start of the second half. Chris Cotter alongside Mark Herzlich here at Alumni Stadium. Maybe we thought we'd see some fireworks in that first half. I didn't know if we'd see them through the air. Almost 450 yards passing combined between these two teams.
I know, and we thought we would see them on the ground for Boston College. We had an explosion from Zay Flowers and true freshman Tavion Robinson. They went off in this first half. Anthony Brown, though, is the guy who is the difference maker for this Boston College offense. They are the reason why the Eagles are ahead 2 scores. Anthony Brown, 258 passing yards, doing it through the air, on the ground. He's been absolutely unbelievable. As we talked about earlier in this game, he's the difference for Boston College to be able to get more than 7 wins this season. If he keeps playing like he is today, Boston College will be eyeing that 8, 9, 10 win mark.
Well, you mentioned some of these receivers. Tavion Brown, one of them for Virginia Tech, watches the kick sail over his head for a touchback. There's a good look at Brown. He's going to get a chance to watch Willis and company at the start of this second half, though, and we'll see what Virginia Tech can do with their first offensive possession. 3 turnovers in that first half, really their undoing. 2 of them led to Boston College scores. One of them at the end of the first half prevented any points for Virginia Tech.
That really halted any momentum that Virginia Tech had driving down that field. Now can they regain that momentum and make some plays here on first down to make a short second down?
Willis out to Turner. Gets it into his hands. It's what they want to do. Now Turner looked like he came up maybe a little lame on that play. Tate Haynes was there to make the stop, but Turner, to your point, you saw it right away. He did not go down very well at the end of that play, and he's holding that left hamstring that he hurt in the first half.
Yeah, and we talked about it in the first half. He tweaked that hamstring.
Injury timeout.
Oh my gosh, and this is hard to see. And sometimes with those hamstrings, they feel like they might be okay, and sometimes they're just a strain until you keep moving on them. And we know Trey Turner. We spoke to him yesterday. We know the passion he has for this game. We know his involvement last year in taking over a leadership role. And unfortunately, he looks like he might have a pretty bad injury to that left hamstring.
You saw the concern on Justin Fuente's face.
And right here, as he starts to make that break, he pulls up. And he just went down. He's such a quick player, but you see his head drop, and then he just needs to go down. He can't do it anymore. And that's a shame to see from a player who we were so impressed with, speaking of him and seeing him play on the field.
Hokies were able to pick up a first down on the play, so Willis now, without Turner in the game, back to pass, completes it over the middle. Grimsley had the touchdown catch in that first half, makes the grab and another first down.
Their options become a little bit more limited with Trey Turner on the sidelines. Right now they got Grimsley in and number 80, Caleb Smith.
We'll see more of Caleb Smith. We'll see Tavon Robinson, the freshman, the true freshman we saw a lot of in that first half. The handoff to McLeese. Just tries to burrow his way, stays on his feet. Good hard running by McLeese to pick up about 5. Here's Turner just trying to walk it off. What do you do when you got an injury like that at halftime? And you're just, you're not running around. Keene with the reception package short of that first down, but he heard it in the first half. We saw it. Now you have that whole half where you don't want to cool down, right?
No, he went into the locker room. He probably put a hot pack on it. He probably had his trainer stretch him out, loosen up, and that's it. You just said it. Keep it moving as much as you can. Now he's on the bike, trying to do the same thing. I really hope he does come back, but seeing it twice in 2 consecutive plays doesn't look so good.
Big third down here for Virginia Tech, their first offensive drive of the second half. Into Boston College territory. Now let's see if they can convert. Now we get a flag, and we're going to get a false start.
Might have been delay game.
Timeout.
No, we got a timeout
Virginia
beforehand.
Tech, first charge of this half. Timeout was called before the false start, so the timeout will be granted. First charge to this half.
Justin Fuente didn't like what he saw, called the timeout, saved his team 5 yards. They got a big third down when we come back. Trophy room inside Alumni Stadium here in Boston College. Eagles leading the Hokies by 14. Early third quarter, big third down for Virginia Tech here in Ryan Willis. Tries to connect with Robinson, and they're not on the same page, and that very well may have been a play where Turner might have been involved previously, but that hamstring preventing him from being in there. Got to go with the true freshman.
Absolutely. And the ball was there. It was a little bit too high. You want to make that easy for your wide receiver to catch and run to get that first down. That's tough. That's tough. And absolutely, Ryan Willis's ball was too high for his receiver, and he knows it right when he throws it. Can't have that out of your senior quarterback on third down short.
BC forces a punt near midfield. Levy calls for the fair catch, makes it at the 12-yard line. So Bud Foster announced that he was going to retire after 33 years in Blacksburg earlier on this month. And boy, it has been an unbelievable ride for one of the legendary defensive coaches in all of college football. The helmet stickers at Murray State.
Dude, I like the face mask.
The neck roll.
Played safety with a neck roll. That's my type of guy. I had a neck roll every time I played. He was a safety at Murray State under Frank Beamer. And then he followed Frank Beamer from place to place, ending up at Virginia Tech for 33 years as that defensive play caller, that lunch pail defense.
He's going to need him in this second half, and that's a good start for that defensive unit right there as Dillon was dropped by Rayshard Ashby.
Speaking to Bud Foster about his announcement early in the season, he wanted to get it out of the way, get it off the table, not have it be on the minds of his players or his other coaches. And he did that early, and he says no one's talked about it, but when we talk to some of the players, they say, yeah, we talk about it all the time. We know why we're playing. We might not vocalize it to coach, but we know why we're playing.
Dax Hollifield fills the gap on that play too, so Dillon, 2 carries, nothing doing.
Dax Hollifield's one of the players that came out and talked about Bud Foster as like a father figure, how much it would hurt, it will hurt him emotionally seeing him leave, but he understands that Bud is doing this because it's just time. And those are the words coming out of Bud Foster's mouth, it's just time.
Brown can't connect with Glines, and that'll bring a quick 3 and out for Boston College. Good timing on the Bud Foster thing. When Virginia Tech absolutely needed a 3 and out, they got it. So they'll get the ball back in pretty good field position.
And that's huge. After a turnover as a defense, if you can stop the other team to a 3 and out, that's big. And the turnover on downs or a punt inside the red zone, to me, those are turnovers. And this is huge in terms of flipping field position in the Virginia Tech Hokies' favor.
Carlson with a punt off the side of his foot. Does get a friendly bounce, but it's still going to be a great situation for Virginia Tech. The Hokies will take over at the BC 42-yard line. Trey Turner was involved early. He's a big play guy. They call him Sticks, wearing number 11, but he got that hamstring injury in that first half, and he just hasn't been able to shake it off.
And he was slow on this play, and he grabbed that hamstring, and when that grab happens, you know that it's an issue. You can't help but reach back and feel that pain, and then it's presenting itself more and more, and we haven't seen him back on the field, and I don't expect to see him the rest of this game.
Willis goes to work without him. McLeese coming near side. Stiff arms one. That's King, rather. And he gets a nice pickup on first down of about 9 yards. Kelsey, what do you got for us?
Trey's been down here on the sideline, stayed on the bike for a little while, and then took off behind the sideline benches, got a little run in. He just had someone come up to him, give him a thumbs up. He kind of nodded, so we'll wait and see what he does right now, sitting on the sidelines with his players.
Boston College smelled that one out. Thanks, Kels. Tate Haynes and company dropping King for a loss.
Oh, Mike Palmer came off that weak side edge, and he knew that he was going to be facing a run. This was a run blitz called, and watch him creep up. He's coming down off the edge, and right out of the left side of your stream, bam! Hits the running back low. Keyshawn King, welcome to big-time college football.
TJ Raham also on the stop from his nose tackle position, and now presents yet another 3rd and 3. Seems like Virginia Tech has been in this 3rd and 3 situation a number of times today.
BC showing blitz again at the bottom of your screen. See if they'll come or if they'll drop back to coverage. If they do come,
McLeese is there to help pick it up. Now Willis is in trouble. He's flushed out of the pocket, but he'll run for it. Right at the stick. I think he might have enough to get it. He does. First down for Virginia Tech. That's the second time today we've seen Willis, when the play breaks down, he uses his legs to get that first down.
And as this rush comes off the edge, you see 47 freshman gets stuck on that block on the outside. He isn't able to get his arms free to shed and come back in on the quarterback. Ryan Willis sees that open lane, gets the first down.
I spoke too soon. They did not give him the first down. It's 4th down. And there's no hesitation here from Fuente and company. Cornelson, the offensive coordinator, they're going for it.
Looking for the lead.
Willis keeps it, puts his head down, picks up the first down easily.
This is their bread and butter on 4th and really short. They fake that jet sweep and do a lead play with the quarterback right up the middle. They have enough confidence in their senior quarterback to get that 1 yard on his own.
Justin Fuente trying to encourage his troops, down 14 here in the second half. With the fade to McLeese. He's going to go up top. He has a receiver open in the end zone, and it's intercepted. A great play by Brandon Sebastian to pick it off, and the ball back to Boston College.
What a play by Brandon Sebastian. He's able to go underneath a poorly thrown ball by Ryan Willis and take advantage, come up with a gigantic interception. Controlled the ball all the way down to the ground. I mean, this is just huge. Saved the touchdown. Big turnover for a Boston College defense that's been number 2 in the country over the past few years at interceptions. They get another 2 tonight so far. They're on a roll.
Sebastian had 2 interceptions last year, gets his first of the year here in 2019, game 1, and gets his offense back out on the field.
Jet sweep, possibly.
Good call on that one. Flowers gets it along the left side. He's only able to pick up a couple before being run out of bounds by a gang of tacklers led by Holyfield. It's a good look at Holyfield right there.
Player down on Virginia Tech's sideline. Looks like it's their return man.
Yeah, Travis Levy. Go to the return jack of all trades, man. They'll play running back. They'll line him up a receiver, return kicks and punts.
He's done a good job of replacing Michael Walker. Last year, led the nation in return yards. He's done well so far, but he's out right now on the sideline. Hopefully he can return.
Back after this. Anthony Brown, A.J. Dillon leading this Boston College offense back onto the field. 14-point lead in this game. They talked in the offseason when we talked to them earlier this week. They talked about the body language that they exhibited last year in the Purdue game. Look at the score of this one, 30-7. Brown, Dillon, body language dejected. They said, hey, we can't do that anymore to our teammates. We're leaders now.
Yeah, no, they knew that it wasn't just enough to play well on the field. They also had to be leaders and act like leaders. They have a picture of that clip in their phones that they look at occasionally, reminding themselves of what kind of leaders they need to be and can be for this Boston College team.
Well, nothing Brown could do on that one. Sacked by Jared Hewitt and a whole slew of Hokies. Kelsey, what more do you have on that?
Well, you guys alluded to it a little bit, but there's a screen grab that they actually took. They were watching that Purdue game together, and they saw themselves and the way they looked so dejected on the sidelines. They said they don't want to just be leaders in what they do on the field. They want to be leaders on the sidelines as well, and body language is a big part of it. That photo stuck with them so much that they saved it. A.J. Dillon says he looks at it every day.
Brown on third down, forcing a pass. Almost picked off. Lucky it wasn't. He was trying to hit his tight end, Hunter Long, over the middle. It'll bring up fourth down.
And it should have been picked off. Rayshard Ashby read the play perfectly. He saw Hunter Long breaking in towards the hash and just undercut that throw. That was forcing it into coverage, something that Anthony Brown cannot do right now. He's had too good of a game. He's been too consistent. Don't force it into coverage. You're up by 2 scores. Continue to play smart. That should have been thrown to a check down.
Grant Carlson in the punt. Pressure coming. They don't get to him. End-over-end kick. Not great. And Hezekiah Grimson's just going to let it bounce. It does take a BC roll, though, and it'll be touched dead at about the 41-yard line. That's where Virginia Tech will take over, trailing by 2 scores. Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern, we'll have a top 15 women's soccer matchup for you. This is what the ACC Network is all about. Virginia, Georgetown at Klockner Stadium. That's on the campus there at University of Virginia, right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. Olympic sports, along with football, basketball, baseball, the like. I love it. McLeese trying to dance around pressure. He's all over the place with Boston College tacklers, and he can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Maximilian Richardson, TJ Ram, and pretty much everybody else on that defense.
Right here, TJ Ram gets up through the middle of this defense. He's a player that they talk about as a young, unproven guy, but he has some big playability. He just got up there, penetrated into that line of scrimmage. Kind of reminds me of a guy that I used to play with, B.J. Raji, who would push the offensive line back and get in those little gaps and disrupt the run play.
I don't know if he can dance as well as B.J. Raji, though. Is it State Farm commercials? I don't know which ones.
So he was a double check guy, I think.
Oh, double check, that's it. Truck to the loss, they'll get another one.
Ooh. Boy.
Joey Lachetti off his end position, dumps Willis. 2 big defensive plays for Boston College, moving Virginia Tech in the wrong direction.
Joey Lachetti's an interesting guy, too. He's a 6'6", 260-pound guy coming off that left edge, and he's just completely unblocked. I don't know whether it was miscommunication or a miscount by the offensive line, but Joey Lachetti started his career here at Boston College as a tight end. He put on 15 pounds and moved to the defensive side of the ball. Looks like it's paying off as he's getting his first start at DN tonight, coming up with a big sack.
3rd and forever for Willis. He has time. The pocket now collapsing, but he gets it off to his man, and Grimsley makes the catch, and he's got a first down.
And as much of a high as BC defense was just riding, all the wind is taken out of their sails with that huge completion, and Ryan Willis threw an absolute dart. Look at this ball go. He throws like a 92-mile-an-hour fastball right there, right to his receiver, right in front of the sticks.
McLeese is dropped by Vinny DePalma. Picks up about 3 on first down. Once again, Virginia Tech is in that midfield area. Can they get into the red zone and get some points on the board? Willis, keeping himself on the quarterback draw and goes nowhere. As a matter of fact, he'll lose to Taracchio again on the stop.
This defensive line has been talked about a lot. They had to replace a lot of guys last year going to the NFL draft. Wyatt Ray, and they had Zach Allen leave this team. These young guys are stepping up, and right there, Betcher had an unbelievable play, get to the quarterback. I don't know whether, again, it might have been blown communication by the offensive line, but it looked like he was in the backfield before Ryan Willis even knew he was there.
Willis. He wanted to throw him, but Robinson does a nice job to come back for it and get the completion.
Let's see if he caught this ball. It's close to the ground. Looks like he had control with the arm underneath it. I didn't see that ball touch, at least from that angle.
Hokies on the move. They pick up yet another first down. King, carry. goes through a little hole, picks up maybe 5.
Virginia Tech's just moving methodically right now. They had a couple plays that backed them up, but they were able to get back on track. And right now, with 2nd and 6, the entire playbook is open.
And they've done this before. They just shot themselves in the foot a couple of times. Nice cutback by the freshman. Keyshawn King picks up another first down before Sparacchio was there to bring him down. They're moving.
And let's look at this run play. This is what I'm talking about in terms of creativity. They take the offensive guard and the offensive tackle from the right-hand side, pull him around to the left, hand the ball off to Keyshawn King, going to the right. He stops, comes back to his left. It totally messes up the eyes of the defenders, especially at that linebacker level.
Going back to King. This time forced out of bounds. Paul Theobald making the stop after a gain of maybe a yard. Well, this is also given Bud Foster's defense a rest. We talked about that with the 3 and out down here, and now they get a long offensive drive.
They're taking a little bit more time in between plays. They were doing a lot of hurry up early, and I think there was some miscommunication. Now they're slowing it down, getting on track.
Willis. Keene. Battles his way close to that first down marker. I thought they were going to drop him short, but he carried John Lamont and company close to the sticks, and it looks like they're going to give him the first down. Great individual effort.
He just keeps driving his feet. Let's see if his knee goes down early. I don't think so. I think he just drives, gets that first down, and the chains move. Now it's 1st and goal at the 10. We talked to Justin Fuente. It was the red zone percentage that he really wanted to improve on. And Ryan Willis' best pass, in my opinion, is the fade ball on the outside in the red zone. He can hit the back shoulder or get his wide receiver up top.
BC comes with pressure, but he finds his receiver in the end zone, and it's a score. James Mitchell, the tight end, hauls it in, and Virginia Tech is right back into this thing.
Well, Virginia Tech's offensive coordinator obviously sees a weakness in that middle of their defense. When they've gotten down inside the red zone, back-to-back times, they've run this skinny post with their inside receiver. Last time, James Mitchell was a little bit too wide, allowing Joseph Sparacchio to intercept the pass. This time, he stayed on his landmark, caught the ball right on the hash where he needed to be. And to me, that is a good adjustment by a young tight end, and that shows promise. He went over to the sidelines, and his coach said, hey, look, you need to be on your mark. Your quarterback will give it to you. Ryan Willis was able to deliver it this time. Touchdown, Hokies.
Thank you, my man. Jordan Cornette back in studio. We got a game here, folks. Virginia Tech just scoring to make it a 7-point game. Here's Travis Levy shaking up on the last kickoff return. He was able to bring this one back to about the 28. That's where BC will take over.
Chris, 28-21, we got a game on our hands. And Boston College has been a little stale on offense in this second half. Defense has given up some big plays. Hokies might be on a roll. We got to see how this one's going to go this series. This is a defining moment for Boston College offense. Can they bounce back, and can their leaders have that great body language that they talked about as their leadership?
Brown keeps it after the fake to Dillon. He'll pick up a couple. This is a Virginia Tech defense now that's had some rest. Their offense has had the ball almost the entire third quarter, which is exactly, it's really the opposite of what we saw, especially in the second quarter when Brown was having so much effect through the air for Boston College. And fake to Flowers. He's looking to hit Dillon. Now comes back to his tight end behind the play, but Ashby is there to dump Burt, and now it's a big third down here. If you're BC, you don't want to put your defense right back out there, do you?
No, you don't. This is a huge third down. You got to extend this drive, give the defense a rest. They're still sitting on the bench talking to their coaches. They need a little extra break.
3rd and 5 for Brown. Surveys the field, has time, cannot connect with his tight end as Reggie Floyd is there to break it up. And it looks like Virginia Tech may get the ball back.
And we're talking about a defense that might be tired or sluggish on the sidelines. What you don't want to see is a hurry-up offense, because you go 1, 2, 3, and 25 seconds ran off the clock that entire possession. And that defense is sucking wind, and now they got to go back out and defend a red-hot Hokie offense.
And Grant Carlson could use a big punt right here for Boston College. Good punt. Drives Grimsley right back to his 22. That's where he makes the fair catch. Virginia Tech back with the football, trailing by 7 when we come back. Big third quarter by Virginia Tech has really, evened up the stats when you look at the game summary there, Mark. But one clear stat: this 4 turnovers by Virginia Tech looms large, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's huge. And BC over the years has thrived on defense and getting turnovers. And right now they've been getting some pressure on Ryan Willis, but Ryan Willis is stuck in there, completed some passes when pressure's been in his face. And I think we're going to see more pressure from BC as this half extends.
Robinson gets dropped, but we have a whistle. I think we're going to get a false start here by Virginia Tech before the play.
There's no snap. False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Christian Darisaw guilty of the infraction, so Virginia Tech will move back 5 yards.
Then negates really what would have been a huge play by Richard Yergin, a guy who came in to this team as a graduate player. He not only has his undergraduate degree from Clemson, but also his master's degree from Clemson. He comes here to Boston College to try to get a second master's degree, and he has been a leader and a force on this young D-line.
Yeah, playing his first game in a year and a half, over a year and a half since a car accident. That he thought was going to derail his career. Now Willis has some time coming out of the break, hits his receiver. That's Patterson. Beats Haynes and is able to get close to the first down. He's going to be a couple of yards shy. Jurgen, we mentioned the car accident. Really set him back. He thought his football career was over. He was fortunate enough to be able to come back from that car accident as a graduate transfer, get here at Boston College, and now he's playing in his first game since January, of 2017.
And he really is a stout player. He was on one of the Clemson great D lines back in 2016. He got that injury and he went on to see his former teammates, former D linemen get drafted first round, second round, first round in the NFL draft. And he is a player who is hoping to regain some of that potential he had when he was at Clemson.
McLeese was able to pick up the first down for Virginia Tech. Now the freshman Keshawn King is in at that tailback spot for the Hokies.
BC's coming, showing pressure off this bottom edge.
It's Paul Theopoldi, backs out. And he's there to make the stop, though. Hits King at the line of scrimmage. King rolls for maybe a couple of yards. They'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Kelsey has more on Richard Yergin.
Yeah, guys, you talked a little bit about that car accident. When he got in it, he woke up, his neck was broken in 3 places. He was on paralysis watch for 3 days, and he said the first thing he asked the doctor is, when will I be able to play football again? Well, they, of course, told him he had to make sure he could walk first, make sure he'd be okay. Now he is back 2 years later playing football. He said there was definitely some anxiety and nerves headed in this game, but he wants to inspire others that they can get back no matter what happens. Yeah,
it's an amazing story. Again, finding Patterson close to the marker, but he came back a little bit, which means he'll bring up about 3rd and a yard and a half. Mehdi Al-Atrak was there to make the stop.
And yeah, I mean, talk about inspiring. He's a guy who not only went through something terrible that was going to diverge him on his path, his dream that he probably had from a little kid. And what was his response? It wasn't just, I need to play again. It was, let me help inspire others know that they can be just like me and come back. It doesn't matter what anyone tells you. You can do what you've always dreamed to do.
1 quarter left to go. We got a good one here in Chestnut Hill. Homestanding Eagles lead by 7 heading into the 4th quarter. Mark Herzlich, Kelsey Riggs, Chris Cotter here at Alumni Stadium. What we see here, 3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down for Virginia Tech. What do you think we got?
Yeah, this is a lot of times Virginia Tech can keep the ball in their quarterback's hands. Let Ryan Willis run the ball with some lead blocking in front of him. You see the jet sweep here, look for him to pull it and keep it right in the middle.
You're exactly right on, my man. He faked it to Robinson, kept it, and they pick up the first down.
reason why they run that a lot, because it works. It tends to work a lot. Ryan Willis is good at putting that ball out there, faking that jet sweep right up the middle.
Good news for Virginia Tech. That man right there, Trey Turner, back in the game. He's had that hamstring issue really going back to the second quarter.
Max protect formation. Look for a 3-receiver route down the field.
McLeese now behind. Willis takes the handoff deep, and he gets dropped for a loss. John Lamont just came flashing in from that middle linebacker spot.
John Lamont read this play. He saw the running back shift into the dot. He's right here, and as this play progresses, he just fires his gap, makes a great move on the offensive guard who's coming out to block him, dips underneath, is in the backfield for the tackle.
Willis, here comes pressure, dumps it off, and it's intercepted! What a great interception by Tanner Crawford!
And Tanner Carafa gets in on the mix in the interceptions. He makes a great pick. We've had an interception by a defensive back, by a linebacker, and now by a defensive tackle.
The 5th turnover of the game for Virginia Tech, and this one is costly again here in the 4th quarter as they give it back to Boston College in their own territory.
Ryan Willis here feels like he has a perfect setup, but Tanner Carafa reads the soft block by number 77, the left tackle. Willis is in absolute disbelief. He goes, what just happened? That was perfect. Well, my man, we had another man playing that perfect, Tanner Carafa.
Boston College now ahead by a touchdown with the football. They're going to try Zay around the right side. And he squirts his way around the defense. Flowers maybe picked up the first down before Diablo was there to knock him out of bounds. No, they say he stepped out after a gain of about 7.
And that's a great play called by Boston College. They fake the toss one way, get Zay Flowers going the other way.
Now you got a fullback here ahead, number 2, who gets dumped though. Ashby in the backfield. Is it too predictable?
I don't know. I mean, I think on that one particularly, there was nothing that could happen. Sometimes you rush back to the line of scrimmage too fast to get to the next play, and you aren't able to ID the Mike, the middle linebacker, and sometimes he comes free.
3rd down for BC. Long. Inside. Close to the first down, but I think he might be a little bit shy. Mario Kendricks was there to bring down the tight end.
And now this will be interesting to see what Steve Adazio does.
Offense is still on the field. 4th down and short.
Sneak.
Brown just bosses his way easily to the first down.
Steve Adazio told us before the game that he was comfortable kicking a field goal with the ball inside the 33. I think right there could have been a gut decision. He said, sometimes I listen to my gut. I think right there he just said, hey, we got momentum. Let's keep that big mo rolling.
Kobe White.
Look for the pass.
Puts a throw, and he throws it. It's long as tight end, but it's intercepted.
We'll fight for it at the end, but
Jermaine Waller with the interception for Virginia Tech. And he had 2 receivers on this end, too. He also had Dillon, who was streaking down the sideline. He opted to go for the tight end, and it didn't work.
see right here, they're running that same toss back to the other side. You got pressure on the receiver. I don't think he was trying to throw it to Hunter Long. I think he was trying to throw it to A.J. Dillon, leaking out the backside, because A.J. Dillon was wide open. Kobe White got absolutely drilled on that throw. That's hard for a quarterback to make. Nonetheless, a wide receiver doing it for the first time.
Virginia Tech now down to score. They get the ball back deep in their own territory, but they keep points off the board for BC.
You got to be alert for the hard count. They want to get Boston College to jump off sides.
A quick handoff to McLeese. He'll pick up maybe a couple. Don't forget, Pitt and Virginia coming your way next. Another really crucial game in the ACC early on. We're not even to September yet. Crowd here at Alumni Stadium starting to get loud. Willis, pressure coming. Gets it off, but overthrows his intended man. Turner was back in the game, but couldn't run under that one. Nobody could.
Ryan Willis got drilled again. Again, it's number 99, TJ Raham, coming right up the middle. He's on a twist game stunt, and watch him use his hands against the tight end. A 235-pound tight end cannot block number 99 coming up the middle.
3rd and 9 here for Virginia Tech.
BC crowd is all on its feet, stomping. These stands are moving and shaking.
Willis trying to get it to Turner again. There was some miscommunication that time as Turner broke off his route and the pass falls incomplete.
Ryan Willis is pointing to Turner and saying, break up field. I don't know whether there was an adjustment due to coverage or where it wasn't communicated out. But when we look at this route by Trey Turner, he breaks out and immediately knows that he either messed up or the ball was thrown inaccurately. And right here, we get pressure again on Ryan Willis. How many times have they had pressure on that 3rd down from just a line stunt up front?
Oscar Bradburn now from his end zone, kicking it to Levy. Mishandles it initially, now picks it up, and he's going to get dropped to his 44. Jamari Connor is there for the special teams tackle. Willis can't believe it. BC with the football and the lead. How about that? Thank you, Jordan. Fighting Mac Browns with a great start. Let's hope for Mac Brown that they can hang on. That'd be a huge win for them against South Carolina, an SEC team at home.
Especially the rest of the Coastal Division hasn't fared well this week. Miami with a loss, Duke with a loss, Georgia Tech with a loss.
And that's not something you see every day. That's A.J. Dillon on the receiving end of a pass. His first of the year. He only had 8 catches all of last year, but he told us he wants to get more involved in the passing game.
He does, and that's good by Mike Pajakin, the play caller, to get your best player the ball when 11 guys aren't keying on him at the beginning of the play.
Well, now he's going to run the football. Bounces off tacklers into the secondary. Another first down. Divine Diablo finally brought him down, but this is his time. This is A.J. Dillon's time when he wears down defenses, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you look at that left guard, number 77. We got Zion Johnson absolutely moving his defender off the ball. A.J. finds the lane behind him, just trucks people to the first down.
Still on his feet, but if they do blow the whistle, they'll give him about 5 yards on first down. Now he'll get a spell, a little bit of a breather. David Bailey comes in. Bailey will take the handoff. Keeps his feet, shows his athletic ability. He'll pick up a first down. Waller makes the stop. They'll stay with Bailey. This is the first time we've seen this Boston College offense with any type of effectiveness here in the second half.
And you look at the difference in yardage between first half and second half, and that's really a testament to Bud Foster and his defensive style of coaching. He is such a great in-game adjuster. He goes in at halftime and he says, look, this is what we need to stop. This is what we need to take away. And he makes those adjustments. And I got to say, I don't know if I've seen a lot of number 4 in the second half, and he was the one who was beating them all first half.
He's in motion up at the top of your screen now, staying on the ground with Bailey. He's just powering his way into that pile. Hollifield is there with some others, but a gain of another couple of yards. Dillon back in. And how about this? You've been pounded on now by David Bailey for 3 or 4 plays. You get a fresher Dillon in there in that backfield.
Yeah, and not only get a fresher Dillon, there was an opportunity to sub some new defensive linemen in there for exactly that reason. But we look at the Virginia Tech's ability in this second half to really bounce back from some of the offensive mistakes that were made. And they, so far, up into this drive, have been able to limit Boston College's mobility on offense.
But now the clock continues to wind down. BC already up a score. Clock winding, under 9 minutes left to go in this game. And Dillon is churning out yards at 3, 4, 5 a clip. Flowers in motion. He gives to Dillon, bounces it outside, stiff arms, keeps on his feet. The one man, Javon Beckton, saved the touchdown.
Yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. Watch A.J. Dillon spin, and he spins and has vision to know that someone's coming to tackle him, gets the stiff arm, pushes him down the ground, bounces off, keeps his balance. Like, that is unbelievable. That's why he's in the Heisman conversation.
Now Bailey gives him a spell. Got a fullback in the game for Boston College. Bailey with the carry, slams it in the line, dives for the end zone. Well, they're going to rule him down at the 1 yard line.
It was close. The question is whether his knee hits the ground or his elbow hits the ground before the ball crosses the plane. Let's take a look right here. As he's diving, he's got his hand on the ground. That's okay. Knee down. Yeah. I don't think he extended the ball over.
Bailey again. This time he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Boston College.
What a day for David Bailey. Coming into this game, all the talk was about A.J. Dillon. And last year, it was Travis Levy who had 2 huge runs for touchdowns in the second half of the game against Virginia Tech to give Boston College the win. This year, David Bailey is the one who steps up, gets a touchdown to cap off that drive.
Blueberry with the PAT. BC again extends their lead to 14 thanks to this grinding out ground game. First it was A.J. Dillon getting them down there. David Bailey finishes it off. Eagles by 2 scores. BC back up 14 thanks to an old school meathead kind of a drive. That last drive right there, eschewing the passing game. They were just going to ram it down Virginia Tech's throats, and it worked.
And that's old school BC football. They got in 2 back sets, let their running backs pound it up the middle, and that offensive line just drove their feet, picking up 1 yard after another. And the running backs kept their balance and were able to maneuver to get those extra yards. And A.J. Dillon with an incredible spin move, stiff arm, getting down to the 1 yard line.
David Robinson back to receive this kick. Takes it at his 2 yard line. 15. He's tackled right there by Mehdi Al-Atrak. Kelsey, what do you got for us?
Well, when we talked to Steve Adazio yesterday, he told us that the openers are really important to him, just like every game, but they're going to win at all cost, and that, of course, means they're not saving A.J. Dillon. As we've seen, the good news is they don't have to. They have a guy like David Bailey that can come in and make such a big impact. So having both of them back there, definitely a big advantage for Boston College this season.
Yeah, we hadn't even seen Pat Garbo, the freshman who they love as well. It gives them some depth at that tailback spot if they were to lose A.J. Dillon. Fumble on the snap. Willis is able to pick it up. Now they're going to rule him down. They're going to say his knee was down when he picked up the fumble. So Virginia Tech down 14, starting in a hole.
Rolling on the field, the quarterback's knee was on the ground when he possessed the football, second down.
Yeah, we just had the snap dribbled back to Brian Willis. Nothing he could do about that. Really, he was lucky he recovered it.
Back to pass over the middle, finds his man. Robinson again, brought down at about the 20. Tate Haynes on the stop. He's had a good game.
Once again, Ryan Willis is able to bounce back after kind of a miscued play, find his receiver down the middle of the field for a big chunk.
This is 3rd and 7. Willis tries to go up top, tangled up with the receiver and the defensive back, and Sebastian and Smith. Adazio can't believe it. Now he's going to see where the call is going to go. He came running onto the field to have a word or two with the officials.
Defensive pass interference, number 10. That's an automatic first down.
Call goes against Sebastian.
Right here, your bottom of your screen, you see kind of the hesitation move. And Brandon Sebastian's arguing that he got in front of him, got position, but he restricted the offensive player from getting to where he wanted to do. He held, he pass interfered. That was a good call by these refs.
Taking the quarterback side.
Yeah, you know,
it's rare. McLeese
by the book.
A little bit of a seam there before Maximilian Richardson brought him down. Gained him just about 2. Clock winding down here. We're inside 7 minutes to go in the game. Virginia Tech is down 2 touchdowns. They definitely have to have a sense of urgency here, especially the way we saw Boston College just churn out yards and clock on that last drive.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to need to start getting more back into that hurry-up offense. Get the ball downfield, maybe to the sidelines.
Willis now steps up, has time. Nice catch on the sideline. No, they're going to rule he's out of bounds. Turner was there, made the grab, but he just couldn't get a foot down.
And those are the things that Boston College has got to know to defend right now. They need to get the ball out of bounds because they need 2 scores in a short amount of time. Great call by the officials. Trey Turner was out of bounds, but he did look okay. That hamstring didn't look to affect him on that, so maybe he had a miraculous comeback and is able to play on that iffy hamstring. Well, right,
Third down and
boy,
8.
is this a big play. Let's see if Boston College brings pressure. They're showing it at the bottom of your screen. Now they're dropping off.
Low snap again, handled by Willis. This time he has his receiver open, and it was Caleb Smith who made the catch before Ella Trock was able to get there. Nice recognition and good pass.
It's interesting. Bill Sheridan said he didn't want to bring pressure on 3rd down, but it seems like he needs to start bringing some pressure because Ryan Willis is picking apart this deep zone defense.
Now Willis bounces out, tries to find Turner, just overthrows him.
Tate Haynes got a good jam on Trey Turner at the beginning of that play, not allowing him to get deep into the coverage because that third of the field was open, but he wasn't able to get out there.
There's Mike Palmer, safety, who's also had a good game. Pitt, Virginia coming your way next. Virginia Tech is trying to extend this game, make it as long as possible. They need to score on this drive, though, to have any hope. Here's Willis. Ball's tipped. Dangerous. Tried to find McLeese out of the backfield. That ball just sailed away.
That was a missed opportunity for Virginia Tech. Boston College had his 2 inside linebackers mugged up in the line of scrimmage near the center. The running back who they were responsible for covering got out in the flat. He was wide open if that ball didn't get tipped.
McLeese coming out of the backfield now. He's split wide right. 3rd and 10 for the Hokies. Will BC bring pressure? Fans at Alumni Stadium getting into it. Pressure comes. Willis unloads. Nice shot. Hits his receiver. Will he be able to get to the marker? Close. Not quite there, though. Grimsley with a fantastic individual effort, but this is obviously 4-down territory, is it not?
Yeah, no, they have to go for it here on 4th down. If maybe they were 3 or 4 more yards closer, they could think about a field goal. But honestly, right now, a field goal is not going to do much for them. You got the clock still winding down. 5:30 left in this game. You need 2 touchdowns. And this play right here could be the biggest of this game for this offense and Ryan Willis.
4th and 2 for the Hokies. Now we're going to get a flag. False start.
False start. Number 71. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
T.J. Jackson.
That comes down to focus. T.J. Jackson is the massive behemoth offensive lineman we talked about earlier, who actually lost weight and is now at 360 pounds. Well, 360 pounds, once you move a little bit, you can't really stop yourself. So that's where we saw the false start take place. And now we have 4th and long. Play call is going to be completely different for Virginia Tech. It's going to be on Ryan Willis' shoulders.
7 yards to get the 1st down. Willis pressure coming, steps up into the pocket. Now he's flushed out. He's got the yard marker in his sights. Dives for it. Let's see where they mark it. I think they're going to mark him short. And Willis can't believe it.
Fuente can't believe it either. We got to see this replay. Let's see if he extended the ball past that line.
Richardson was giving chase. And it's where the ball either goes out of bounds or lands as long as his knee doesn't touch first.
And let's see.
Wow. Now that ball is inside the 34-yard line.
The runner was short, so the line to gain. That play is under further review.
Does his knee go down here at the 36?
Looks like we see some pelts, but it doesn't matter where the knee goes down. It's where the ball is when the knee hits the ground. So right there, moments before the ball actually hits the ground itself, Ryan Willis will be down.
Right, where's the ball? I can't see, but it looks like the ball is right there at the 34-yard line when that knee goes down. The replay officials will take a look at it. We'll take another look at it. We'll let you take another look at it when we come back. Keeping it here at Alumni Stadium. This is a huge call, obviously. Call of the game. Virginia Tech just trying to stay alive.
Let's look at this one more time. Right here, right there, the knee's down. And where's the ball at that point?
That's right. It may be right after the 34-yard line, but it's pretty close to that dash.
Yeah, to me, it's either right at... Okay, there's
and
the 35.
And they have it marked just inside the 35 right now.
Yeah, so it should be just inside the just outside the 34-yard line going in. And will that give Virginia Tech enough?
It's close. That would make it measurable for sure. Right now, it's not even. You wouldn't even measure it. It's a good 2 feet outside.
And what the replay officials are looking at right now, not only where is he down, did he fumble the ball before he went out, which I don't think he did, but also what's the time left on the clock? If he got the first down, then the clock's going to stop. If you went out of bounds, the clock is going to stop. But if he's short and in bounds, then the clock should keep running and it'll start right on the snap.
Well, if he's short, that's 4th down. If he's short,
then the clock stops anyways because it's turnover on downs. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, if this doesn't get reversed and it turned into a first down, Boston College takes over with 4:43 remaining in the game and up 2 scores. Let's take one more look at it as you see our referee Riley Johnson on the horn with the replay officials. Right there. Now that ball is right, at worst, right on the outside edge of that 34-yard line. Am I right about that?
No, you're absolutely right.
I wear glasses.
I think you're right on that, and I don't know exactly where they place the ball at that point. Do they place it just short of that line? And I think the tough part is when they place it and then they measure it. That measurement is going to be key because even 1 or 2 chain links and
no question about it.
Not a first down.
Andrew Panucci is our replay official tonight.
You talk about Ryan Willis too. I mean, talk about a heads-up play in that situation, whether he gets it or not. He was able to use his speed and unbelievable effort to lay out to try to get that first down. I can't even tell you how difficult it is to be running full speed to see where the first down mark is to extend as you know you're getting hit at the same time. That's a big play by him regardless of what the outcome is.
After reviewing the play, the ball will be placed at the 34-yard line. The tip of the ball will be touching the yard line. Once we move the ball to that spot, we'll measure to see if the line to gain was made.
All right, that's a positive development for Virginia Tech, and Steve Adazio doesn't like it, but I think from our vantage point, that's the right call. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely think so. I mean, I think that was the right call. I don't think the ball crossed the 34-yard line, and that's what I was referring to when I talk about the exact placement is the tip touching the 34-yard line, and where does that place that link on the chain? Is it just enough or just short?
We'll find out right here. Goodness. And they gave the first down to Virginia Tech. That is a matter of millimeters.
Wow, absolutely. I mean, you look at that, and even from the camera angle that we had, it looks like there was a little air between. The ref's kind of like, that's one of those deals where...
It's a credit card one.
Yeah, it's like you're playing...
a credit card out of the wall, and you put it down there to see if there's any room.
You're playing bocce ball, and you're seeing if there's any space between the 2 balls you throw.
I think Steve Adazio's played any bocce ball in his life.
I bet he's a mean bocce ball player.
Deshaun McCleese now split wide. Virginia Tech has new life. Willis gets it to Turner. He's got a blocker. Now he makes a move inside. Pinballs his way to about an 8-yard gain.
This is Virginia Tech's answer right now. They're spreading out Boston College and just dinking and dunking, trying to let their playmakers make some plays. Look for them to take a shot downfield at some point, maybe on 2nd and 2 here.
He stays in the block. It was over the middle, almost picked off. Ooh, John Lamont had his hands on it, just couldn't quite bring it in.
There's the neck roll I love. John Lamont, hard-nosed, physical tackler. He's known for his play in the box, but he's been really good in coverage tonight. And that's very good for Boston College because they're going to rely on these middle linebackers to play coverage against some very powerful and dominant running backs and tight ends in this league.
3rd and 2. Incomplete pass at least stops the clock for the Hokies. Willis now tucks it in. He's going to run for it, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. That'll stop the clock as well.
And I think this was a design quarterback draw. You watch, the running back, McLeese, kind of led up through the middle, clearing way for Ryan Willis to be able to follow him and get enough for that 1st down. They trust their senior quarterback. They want the ball in his hands late in the game.
Willis trying to find McLeese out of the backfield, just ran out of room, ran out of real estate.
It's Maximilian Richardson on that coverage. It's not easy to cover running back on a wheel route out of the backfield. He did that with perfection. There he is. We had a conversation with him yesterday. Really impressive young man. He's a golfer. He's a basketball player. He said he wants to be a lawyer when all this football stuff's done. Criminal defense lawyer. Just really an outstanding young man.
Dude's from Georgia, loves golf. He's like, why on earth would you come up here to Boston if you love golf? Play year-round down in Georgia. Here, shut it down for 6 months. 2nd down and 10 now for Virginia Tech. The handoff to McLeese. Stays on his feet, powers his way. Great effort by McLeese. Gets inside the 15. This will bring up yet another big 3rd down. 3rd and about 3.
So right now, yes, they're gaining yards, but the clock is still running, and I think this is going to be an issue eventually for Virginia Tech. Look for max protection, 3-man route down the field, or they're going to hand the ball off at the middle, and again, they're keeping the ball on the ground. And looks like we have a bad injury. Players are calling.
Yeah, you're right. It's Virginia Tech offensive lineman down on the field. That looks like Zachariah Hoyt. Zach Hoyt, the junior from Salem, Virginia, right now, just outside of Blacksburg. As he's attended to by the Virginia Tech staff. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Zachariah Hoyt, Virginia Tech's starting center, was helped off the field after that last play. This is important. 4th and inches now without your starting center as John Harris has come into the game for the Hokies. What will Willis and company do here? Sneaks it, tries to get a push, now rolls for that 1st down. Whew.
And that's a tough one. They've gone to that shotgun snap to Willis, but I don't think they wanted to mess around with a shotgun snap with a first play with this new center. We see Willis just kind of roll off the pile. His initial momentum stopped, and then he rolled off the side of the pile.
Good 1st down for Virginia Tech. They're alive. Turner in motion. The fake. Out to Keene, but a great play defensively. There's that man again, Lamont.
John Lamont, eyes were so good on that play. Everything was telling him play away. He kept his eyes focused on his tight end all the way. John Lamont made the big tackle in the sideline.
Clock winding down. Close to 2 minutes now. Down 2 scores. Willis. Surveying the field. Now comes back around, and a fantastic catch for a touchdown by Smith.
Fantastic job by Smith working back to the ball, providing an outlet for his quarterback. It looked like Boston College had most things covered on the front side of the play. Smith just had that extra effort. Let's look right here. And we see Ryan Willis looking front side, nothing there, nothing open, nothing. He goes backside to his 4th receiver. And look at this catch. Full extension, comes down, caresses it on top of his body, and points it up. I got it, coach. Touchdown.
First touchdown by Smith. Couldn't have come at a better time for him.
And now we have 2 minutes left in this game. Virginia Tech down by 1 score. Can they stop Boston College, get the ball back, and get the ball into the end zone?
Fantastic catch by Caleb Smith to make it a 1-score game. Just 2:13 left to go in the contest of Virginia Tech. Going to try an onside kick. Brian Johnson will put it in play. Straight up in the air. This is going to be covered easily by Boston College. Mike Palmer, the safety, making the grab, giving possession to the Eagles with just 2:12 remaining. Coming up at 7:30. That's coming up next. Virginia and Pitt. The ACC Network prime time matchup presented by Geico. We've had a good one here and an important one too. That one's important as well when you talk about Pitt, who won the Coastal last year. Virginia, they have designs on winning it this year. A lot of people think they're the favorites, but somebody's going to come away with a W in a very important ACC game coming up following us.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge game, and we'll see what the outcome of this is, but there have been a lot of losses on that Coastal side so far.
Now it could be A.J. Dillon time, and Virginia Tech knows that they're just going to stack the box here. Dillon puts his head down and gets a couple.
This is what Boston College has to be careful of. They can't be too predictable here because, yes, they had...
Virginia Tech. That is their second charge for this half. 30 seconds.
You know, they had success last drive moving the ball downfield, and a lot of it was on the ground. And let's take a look at that last drive right now. And watch this offensive line get movement on this Virginia Tech defensive front. Running backs are able to find the holes. Right there, spin move, a great play by A.J. Dillon, making the most of it. But look at the defensive line for Virginia Tech, pushed back all the way into the end zone. That's right now what Boston College wants to do again. But if they are too predictable, Virginia Tech will just line up and eventually they'll stop them. And they need a first down here because the last thing Boston College wants to do is have a quick 3 and out and give Virginia Tech another shot.
Well, they got the fullback, and they've got number 2 right there, and he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe doesn't get there, but another timeout, final timeout for Virginia Tech, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That is their 3rd and final timeout of this half.
And we look at A.J. Dillon getting these carries, and it's not going to be great for his stat numbers, but a lot of times right now he's getting the ball and runners are free to him in the backfield. Virginia Tech has these run blitzes dialed up, and you see Bud Foster here. He knows what to do in this situation. He's gone against 4-minute offenses that are trying to run the clock out every single year. They practice it every single week. And now we got Dax Hollifield and Virginia Tech defense trying to get their Virginia Tech Hokie fans that are here going.
Do you run the ball again, though? I mean, you got 2 minutes left. You could knock off another 40 seconds off this clock if you ran a play. If you pass it and it's incomplete, they've got 2 minutes.
I'm running a play action. I'm trying to get A.J. Dillon the ball in the flat because you want to still have a high percentage throw. You don't want to throw incomplete, but you also can't get a first down on a run right at the middle.
That's what they're going to try.
Or maybe you can get a first down running the ball right up the middle. Good thing I'm not an offensive coordinator. A.J. Dillon finds his way through, and let's see how he did it. And maybe the biggest run of the game, not the most exciting, but watch Tyler Vrabel, son of Mike Vrabel, pin number 23, Rashard Ashby, down into the line of scrimmage, allowing A.J. Dillon to skim off his back and spin his way to a Boston College first down. And with 1:36 on the clock, and the clock still running, that could be all there is for this Virginia Tech defense.
Bud Foster couldn't believe it. Everybody in the barn knew who was getting the football. He got it, and he got the first down. Now it's victory formation for the BC Eagles. Well, they lost 3 in a row to end the season last year before the bowl game. Couldn't get retribution in the bowl game because weather canceled it, and now they get it here to open up 2019.
And A.J. Dillon talked about that lack of play in the bowl game and the fact that it was canceled. The way he viewed it, it was a loss of opportunity to send off his big brothers the right way. He wanted to give them one more great game to remember their BC career. They were not able to do that because of the cancellation. And that's kind of what is in the back of their minds as they started this season. And boy, they were exciting. I'm sure their brothers who left last year are looking and watching this game very pleased with what they left behind.
Well, BC has Richmond next week. Both these teams starting with obviously a tough game to begin the year, and even tougher for Virginia Tech on the road. They get Old Dominion next week at home. You think they're going to be a little bit fired up to exact a little revenge against the Monarchs from what happened last year against Old Dominion on the road and what happens this week against Boston College?
Yeah, no, I think that they're going to be fired up, ready to play. And when adversity strikes, this is what's really going to test the continuity of that Virginia Tech locker room. They talked a lot this offseason how they started coming together as a team, and it's easy to come together as a team when everything's going well. Now that they have a loss under their belt, how do they come together and stay together moving forward? Looking at next week, it's just one more game. This is just one loss in their schedule. They need to look at their eyes forward to that Old Dominion game.
You saw Coach Fuente and Coach Adazio embrace at midfield. Adazio with a word or two for Bud Foster as well in his final season after 33 years as a defensive assistant with this Virginia Tech team. A.J. Dillon didn't have a huge day. 81 yards on 23 carries, averaging just 3.5. Did have the touchdown, but he got the big carry when they needed it the most, the big first down to salt this one away.
Yeah, and that was a huge play. He didn't have the immense game statistically, but it was when it counted. He had the big run down towards the end zone, spinning the outside, getting the stiff arm, leading to the David Bailey, and he was able to make it count when it counted. Let's go down to Kelsey for more.
Anthony, to get a win in the season opener is a big one. To get a win at home is a big one. This is also a conference win. What did you see from your team, and what does this win mean to you?
This is huge for our team. We showed resolve today. We started off a little bit slow in the second half. We had some missed opportunities here and there in the first half. And it's a big win for us. It's an ACC win. It's a home opener. It's game one, and we needed it. From here on out, we need to keep getting better and better and better and better. But it's great to have this first win and get that monkey off our back.
When we talked yesterday, you said you wanted to be a leader, not just on the field, but off the field as well. Definitely a leader on the field today. How were you able to do that?
Just listening to my coaches and staying on top of my teammates. My teammates got my back and I have their back. So we just got to keep this going.
Anthony, thanks so much. Congratulations. Guys.
Thank you, Kelsey. First of many in the ACC for us, right? I mean, I'm looking forward to working with you all year.
It was a good start. We had an exciting game today. We look for many more exciting games on this ACC network going forward. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, fans from Boston College in the Heights. We'll see you next time.
The huddle is next. Jordan, take it away.